My mama could not believe this, y'all, because nobody actually could, because nobody never knew what was going on besides me and my boyfriend. My friends, nobody. So when they found out, they looked online and they seen all these charges. They was like, no. So my mama, she had my back. She defended me to the end, baby. She was like, y'all got the wrong motherfucking person. My daughter don't do no fucking fraud. My daughter go to work every day. She don't do no fucking fraud. At this point, I'm really embarrassed because, like, my mama really got my back and she really don't know, like, lady, yes, I do. Like, I do fraud. Like, I've been busting checks. Like, well, I'm already out on bond. I need to get my shit together. They done seize my accounts or whatever. So, at this point, I'm finna do it again. Like, let me run it up again, like, until, you know, the case is over with. I'm so fucking dumb. Why would I do it again? These people watching me. Pull up on your thought, she gone. I'ma call that girl still. Then she gave me top and I ain't call it girl still. But I'm still.
We still Hustle Daily. What's going on, Hustle Nation? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Big Play Ray, coming to y'all with another video today. Focus. Make sure y'all smash that like button. I greatly appreciate y'all, man. Follow me on Instagram at the top of the screen. This is a long story. So I'm gonna break it up in 3 parts. So this is part 1. I'm gonna release now. Part 2 I'm gonna release later, and part 3 I'm gonna release later. So this is gonna be a 3-part series of this girl surviving prison. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me, man. Let's see what this story is about. Make sure y'all subscribe, and let's get into why she went to prison. Well, I know why she went to prison. She went to prison for, I'm gonna let her tell y'all. You feel me? We about to get into it. Or the title probably already told y'all, but let's get it.
Imagine going to prison for 4 years. I did the time, so who better to tell my story than me? And listen up. It might be a little lengthy or whatever, but it's worth it. Because I'm the type of girl that loves detail. I pay attention to detail. So when giving a story or when telling a story, like, I like detail. So I'm going to start by telling y'all what led up to prison. So I did bank fraud. Bank fraud, scams, credit cards, checks, you name it, I did it. Taxes, I did it. Right? I did it for about roughly 9-10 years. It wasn't until I let somebody in my game room, tried to help them out. She was dumb and got caught and put them in my game room. Told them everything. And then I became the ringleader. And might I add, I was really good at what I did. And I'm not bragging, but your girl was good at what she did. Now, again, I said I was doing this for about 9-10 years. Never got caught. Never put nobody in my game room. Felt sorry for the girl and tried to help her out. You can't help everybody out. But anyways, I didn't even know I had a warrant for my arrest. It wasn't until one day in 2018. Hold on. It's gonna get good, y'all, I promise. So as I was saying, in 2018, it was one early morning, I heard something banging at the door. I'm like, who the hell banging on the door this early? I mean, it was literally like 7-something in the morning. Like, who could be banging on the door? So, before I had a Ring camera, because, you know, we got Ring cameras now, but I got out of bed and I looked at the window. And I'm like, oh, my God. It's like 3 police cars. Mind you, I didn't know I had a warrant. But I knew that I was doing something illegal. I knew that I was doing something wrong, so I'm scared. So I wakes my boyfriend up at the time, I wake him up, and I'm like, babe, the police down there, go downstairs and answer the door. Because I'm scared. Like, I'm not going to open the door. So he gets up, he like, man, what the fuck going on? So I'm like, I don't know. Now, mind you, again, I know that I'm doing something wrong, but I don't know I got a warrant. So just in case, I go hide in the closet. Like, I don't know what's going on. So he goes down there. They show him like, hey, we got a warrant for Sierra, blah, blah, blah. And we looking for her. Is she here? He was so G, like, he kept it so solid. Like, I didn't believe he would say something like this. He was like, oh, no, she don't live here no more. We ain't even together no more. I don't fuck with her. So, the police so messy here in Jacksonville. They're like, oh, for real? Oh, okay. Well, she has 42 counts of fraudulent checks or defrauding a financial institution, blah, blah, blah. I'm hiding in the closet. When I hear that, I'm like Ebony off a Players Club. I'm like, 42 counts? No. But they so messy. They like, okay, well, don't tell. If she reach out to you, if you talk to her, don't tell her that she got a warrant. Matter of fact, see if you can get her to pull up or come over here. And he hands him a card with his number and information on there and saying, and when she do, let us know. Call us. What? So he come back up there and he tell me like, babe, them people say you got 42 counts of bank fraud. I'm like, I heard him. I'm freaking the fuck out at this point. Because like, huh? How? Like, at this point, they had done built the case on me. Not knowing, after the girl had done told me. And mind you, I had stopped hearing from the girl. Like, I hadn't heard from her in probably like 3 months or so. But I didn't care because, like, I was just doing her a favor. Like, she was a friend of my boyfriend friend. Yeah. So, and she was getting ready to get put out. She had a little baby or whatever. And I felt bad for her. I'm a really, really kind-hearted person. I have a real big heart. So, I'm asking my boyfriend, like, what you think I should do? Oh, y'all, these some little carrot rice. They so good. Like, really, really good. Y'all need to check these out. They came from Korea, though. But anyways, so I'm asking my boyfriend, what you think I should do? Oh my God, like I got a warrant out for my arrest. So I'm like, I know you ain't gonna turn me in. He like, man, stop fucking playing with me. Why would I turn you in? It was just a little joke. But anyway, so I prepared myself to get ready to be on the run because I'm not gonna turn myself in. They're gonna have to do their job and come find me. Like, I'm not going to jail. Oh my God. Like, mind you, I had never really been in trouble. Like, so jail, like, huh? Like, no way. So I get a little duffel bag. I'm starting packing my stuff. Like, I'm actually scared to leave the house at this point because what if they around the corner waiting on me? So I seen him maybe like 2 hours later. I seen him out the house. And like, go circle around the block. Go make sure like they ain't nowhere. So, oh my God. So funny. So he comes back. He like, nah, they gone. So I call my cousin. And I'm like, cuz, like, I got a warrant for my arrest. I need somewhere to stay. Like, she like, oh, come on. Like, it's no problem. So, I packed my stuff. The car was in the garage. Thank God. The car was in the garage. So, therefore, I was able to get in the car. In the garage, I didn't have to go outside. So, I get in the back seat. But mind you, I'm in the back seat, but I'm laid on the floor on the back seat. Cringe the fuck up. Yeah. So, I get to my cousin's house or whatever. I hide out over there for maybe like a week. I ain't go out the door. Like, I ain't do nothing because I was just that scared. So, I had to build up a little courage after a week or so. And I was just like, fuck this. Like, these people ain't looking for me. Dumbass. So, I get like, kind of like basically living my normal life again. Like, at this point, it was like a week or two or whatever. So, I hate staying at other people's house. I don't know about y'all, but like, I love my own home. Like, I can't be living with nobody. So me building up that courage, like, okay, I'm gonna just go home late nights and I'm gonna just leave early mornings. So I was doing that for a good month. So without getting caught. So one morning, mind y'all, now this is the crazy part, because I'm cheating on my boyfriend already. That's the kick. I really ain't want to be with him no more, but I couldn't leave him neither, you know? So, I was talking to this other dude at the time, and I didn't even tell him what was going on because I was too embarrassed. But anyway, so, I'm cheating on my boyfriend, and we had done pulled up back at the house or whatever. We had went to go get something to eat, me and the boyfriend. And so, we had put up back at the house, and he went in the house. Mind you, the other dude was calling, so I couldn't go in the house. I needed to talk to him on the phone. So I sat in the car. So the boyfriend like, hey, you need to come upstairs, like, come in the house, like, come on, or whatever. And I'm just like, I'm coming. Man, I'm on the phone with the dude or whatever. And before I knew it, I was outside for about 2 hours on the phone. The boyfriend done went to sleep. So after I get off the phone with the dude, I'm like, fuck it, I'm about to pull the car in the garage. Soon as I click the clicker to go in the garage, Like 3 cars had done pulled up in my driveway, like, and blocked me in. So I'm looking crazy. Mind you, they was like undercover cars. They was not police cars. They were undercover cars. I'm scared shitless at this point. I'm like, I'm caught. I'm finally fucking caught. Oh my God, like, what I'm gonna do? So I started blowing the horn because I knew it was police. I started blowing the horn, trying to get his ass up. Like, hey, they got me. Like, he's still asleep. So they approached the car and they like, hey, they got a picture of me. Mind you, at this point, I had blonde hair. And the picture that they had was like black hair. So they like, hey, is your name Sierra? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at the picture like, no. They're like, stop playing games with us, Miss blah, blah, blah. We know it's you. And I'm looking like, no, that's not me. If you know it's me, why is you asking me? Just go ahead and arrest me. Like that. Sorry for the wait, y'all. This part 2. So, like I was saying, the police hadn't already got there or whatever. And they told me to stop playing games. Like, listen, we know it's you. Stop playing games with us. We finna arrest you, basically. So, I just basically went ahead and surrendered at this point. Like, I don't want to keep, like, playing with the people. Like, they know it's me. Like, come on. Meanwhile, while they still saying all this, they end up bringing me my Miranda rights, and I'm literally blowing the horn, like laying on the horn, because like these people is arresting me. You need to get your ass up and come downstairs. Like it's finna take me to jail. So I'm blowing the horn like, hey, like get up. I'm calling his name. I ain't gonna say his name, but his name Brian. So I was like, Brian, like literally yelling and blowing the horn. So the people telling me to calm down, the police telling me to calm down. They'll go knock on the door to get him up. I'm like, he's not gonna just hear no knock. Like, I need to go upstairs to get him. They like, go upstairs. No, man, we can't allow you to go upstairs. Like, then they end up putting 1 cuff on me. They did allow me to make phone calls. So I had my phone or whatever. I wasn't even thinking about making a phone call. Back it up. As I was on the phone with the dude, he heard what was going on. He was like, what's going on? You straight? You finna go to jail? Y'all, I hung up the phone so fast because I was so embarrassed. Like, that's embarrassing because he didn't know what was going on with me. Like, what I, really did for a living. So again, as they had 1 cuff on me and they allowed me to make phone calls, instead of making a phone call, my dumb ass thinking about, let me delete all this shit out my phone because he finna come downstairs and he gonna get my phone and I don't want him going through my phone and see that I'm cheating. So I was deleting all the messages. I ended up blocking the dude or whatever. Mind you, me and the dude had been talking for like a good 5 months or whatever. And so I ended up blocking him so he wouldn't call back or whatever. So he ended up coming downstairs. He came downstairs so fast. He didn't have on no clothes, no shirt, no bottoms, nothing. Just, he had on his boxes, but that's about it. He like, what the fuck going on? Oh my God, what's going on? Nigga, you know what's going on. These people can take me to jail. So you came down there and you was just like, what's going on? Y'all finna take her to jail? So the officer was like, yes, sir. We have to arrest her because she has a warrant for her arrest for defrauding a financial institution. So he like, well, I need to call her mom or whatever. So mind y'all, I cleared the phone, gave him my phone. He ended up calling my mama or whatever, let my mama know what's going on. They ended up taking me down to downtown. So as I got downtown, I ended up calling my mama. My mama could not believe this, y'all, because nobody actually could, because nobody never knew what was going on besides me and my boyfriend. My friends, nobody. So when they found out, they looked online and they seen all these charges. They was like, no. So my mama, she had my back. She defended me to the end, baby. She was like, y'all got the wrong motherfucking person. My daughter don't do no fucking fraud. My daughter go to work every fucking day. She don't do no fucking fraud. At this point, I'm really embarrassed because, like, my mama really got my back and she really don't know, like, lady, yes, I do. Like, I do fraud. Like, I been busting checks. Like, so they end up seizing my accounts and they end up seizing my truck. I wasn't a homeowner, so I was still renting, so they didn't seize the house or do anything with the house. They just seized my accounts and my truck at the time. So my bond was $500,000. So my mama was trying to figure out, like, okay, she got to come up with the money, her and my boyfriend, to get me out or whatever. I ended up getting 2 lawyers. I ended up having to get a lawyer for the overall case, and I ended up getting a lawyer for a bond reduction. I had to get a bond reduction. Ain't no way, like, these people finna have to come up with this money to get me out for $500,000. So I told the dude, I ended up calling him while I was in there, and I had him end up getting me a lawyer for the bond reduction, and my dude ended up getting me the lawyer overall. Mind y'all, I did, like, at this point, I stayed in there for like 43 days or so before I was able to get a bond reduction. I get the bond reduction. Oh my God, I go to court for that, and they tell me that they got a nebulous hold on me. So basically, until I can prove where the funds came from, to bond me out, then I had to stay, regardless of the reduction. Thank God my mama had a decent job, great job or whatever. Her and my grandmother, they use their accounts and stuff like that, showing like, hey, this is where the money is coming from. So they bond me out. The crazy part about this whole thing is, when I got out, y'all probably don't believe me, but this is real shit. When I got out, I wasn't even thinking about like anything. I was thinking about this nigga that I was talking to, because he had some good eggplant, like good eggplant that make you go stupid dumb. Like, so when I got out, he was the first person I was thinking about. I wasn't thinking about my nigga that was at home that done helped bond me out. I wasn't even thinking about him. That's the crazy part. I called him immediately, and when I got out and told him I'm out or whatever, and he was like, okay, he finna come to my friend's house and meet me, because I had done went to my friend's house after I got out. So I'm out on bond. He come meet me at my friend's house, and we, you know, chop it up or whatever. This nigga done end up giving me an ultimatum, letting me know, because he knew about my boyfriend, but he ended up letting me know, like, listen, hey, it's either gonna be me or him. Like, I ain't finna keep doing this with you. Like, I just feel like he felt like that now, because now, nigga, you done got me a lawyer, so now you feel like, oh yeah, like, we all in or nothing. That's how I feel. So I finally make it home or whatever, and I woke my boyfriend up, and I basically was like, hey, I'm home. He was excited to see me, but he was still like asleep, or he was sick or something. And so I kind of told him, I was like, hey, we need to talk. And so he was like, I don't want to talk right now. I want to talk we can talk in the morning. So I was just like, no, we need to talk now. But he wasn't having it. He didn't want to talk. So me not knowing whole time while I was in jail, he already knew what was going on. I didn't know that, but he did. He knew what was going on. He ended up going through me and my cousin messages. Now, y'all, I done deleted the message between me and the dude, but he ended up going through me and my cousin messages while I was talking to my cousin about the dude. Who does that? But I must say, he kept it P, because he said he didn't want me to go through it. You know, I was already going through it while I was in jail, so he didn't want to add on top of it, so he didn't say anything. He was waiting till I came home. So he didn't want to talk that night. So the next morning, he wakes me up. He like, hey, get up. So I'm like, what's up? So he like, I'm ready to talk. At this point, I'm mad. I got an attitude, because I don't want to talk. I tried to talk to you. You didn't want to talk. So he like, nah, I'm ready to talk. So since you're ready to talk, okay, I guess I'm finna lay it out. Like, I was just like, hey, I've been seeing somebody else, and I don't want to be together no more. He was like, to be honest, I already knew that. I already knew that you was seeing somebody else, but can I ask you one question? I was like, yeah. He was like, you love him? So I was like, yeah, I do. When I tell you good eggplant or make you say some dumbass shit, like, girl, no, you don't love that man. So to fast forward and speed it up, I end up telling him or whatever, and we end up getting in a fight and a big argument, and I end up putting him out, and we broke up. I got with the dude. A month later, the dude end up coming to stay a little while or whatever, and we was together. So while I'm out on bond, y'all, I'm thinking that at this point, well, I'm already out on bond. I need to get my shit together. They done seize my accounts or whatever. So at this point, I'm finna do it again. Like, let me run it up again, like, until, you know, the case is over with. I'm so fucking dumb. Why would I do it again? These people watching me. So I'm out doing my thing, getting my shit together, like running it up, getting me some more money. Man, I was out on bond for about 4 months. I was going back and forth to court. The last time I went to court, I was getting ready to leave court, because I had ended up getting another job or whatever. And I was like, you know, my lawyer was going to be in the place of me, and he told them that I was going to work. As I was getting ready to walk out the courtroom, the defense said, no, not the defense, I mean the state. The state was like, hey, we can't let her leave. Like, they were talking to the judge, we can't let her leave. She has another warrant for her arrest. What? So the judge told me to hold on. As they were talking or whatever, he ended up saying, yes, you got a warrant for your arrest. You're not going to be able to leave. Detain her. Oh, my God. So they kept me again. And at this point, I'm thinking I got another bond, because they lied and said I did have a bond. And this bond was kind of low, pretty low. But when I got downtown, I end up having no bond. They revoked the bond because I was already out on bond. So now I can't go nowhere. So now I'm in jail fighting my case, back and forth, going to court. Like, literally, I sat in county for 10 months. 10 months before I got sentenced to prison. Now, here you go with the county. I want to back it up a little bit for y'all. So, the eggplant man, this is the most important part, because y'all know he had gave me the ultimatum or whatever, saying that, hey, it's either gonna be me or him, because I don't want to keep going back and forth playing. So, you know, I chose him. Eggplant was too good to let go at the moment, so I chose him. He ended up moving in with me a month later, and we hadn't got serious or whatever, and we was together for about, I want to say we was together for about 5 months, 4 months, because I was on the outside fighting my case on the outside for 4 months. So we was together for about 4 months. So I don't even know how this is possible, but it was possible, because mind you, he was staying with me. But the day before I went to court, I found out he was married. His wife pulls up to my house and jump out the car and say, "This what we doing?" I'm like, what is going on? Like, who is this? What's going on? So he tries to explain himself, like telling me to go in the house. He gonna explain it later or whatever. Go in the house, go in the house. So I'm like, no, I'm not going in no house, because like, you need to tell me what's going on now. Like, who is this and what's going on? Mind y'all, I had already told him I had somebody. I gave, you know, him that disclaimer, yes, I had a boyfriend, but he didn't care. Of course, men don't care. But he didn't care, so I just felt like I opened the door for you to tell me, like, hey, I'm married or whatever the case was. I just wanted to put that out there that he was married. So, anyway, so back to the county. I'm in county or whatever, fighting this case. Don't got no bond. They revoked the bond already, so I'm still sitting in there, going back and forth to court. And that's the worst part, the not knowing, like, you just got to keep going back and forth to court, getting shackled, getting handcuffed, like, just for them to pass the court date. That is so dumb. So, mind you, after like 2 months had passed and I'm still sitting in there, y'all, I made up a big lie. Like, oh my God, I'm so ashamed, because I made up a big lie. So me thinking like, oh my God, I'm really in some shit. Like, I'm finna go to prison. And because my lawyer is telling me like, you might have to take some time. So I didn't think they sent pregnant people to prison. Like, I'm so naive to it. I'm like, oh, they ain't gonna send nobody to prison pregnant. Shit. So it was a pregnant person in my dorm, and I kind of like paid her in commissary and told her like, hey, I need your pee. I need her pee, because I'm finna tell the judge and everybody else, bitch, I'm pregnant. Because if I'm pregnant, ain't no way I'm going to prison. So she let me use her pee, and I ended up telling them I'm pregnant when I went back to court. So now my mama think I'm pregnant, my grandma think I'm pregnant, my friends, everybody just think I'm pregnant. So now it's really bad, because they like, oh my gosh, she can't go to prison pregnant. So it came to the time where my family had to write character letters, and they had to come in and talk on my behalf or whatever, just to speak, you know, what type of person I am or whatever. I think this what made me feel bad about it, because my grandma came and she took the stand and she was just like, this is my granddaughter's first baby. Please don't take her away. Like, this is, you know, her first child. She's going to be a great mother. She's never been in trouble. She's good with the community, blah, blah, blah. Like, that was the worst part. I got everybody speaking on my behalf. My cousin, they so sad. Like, Your Honor, my cousin is a great person. She's never been in trouble. Please, like, take some slack on her. She's gonna be a first-time mom. So the defense or whatever, the state, they kind of, I don't know how they knew, but they kind of knew I was lying, because they started questioning. And like, they was questioning my grandma, like, how do you know she's pregnant? How do you know she's telling the truth? Like, and I'm sitting here looking crazy, like, why would they ask her that? Next thing I know, they done told the judge that I need to be tested again. I already done tested, because mind you, I had the pregnant girl pee in the dorm. Man, they took me to Shands, to the local hospital, and they went to get an ultrasound in a heartbeat. Now, mind y'all, this was the craziest shit too, because when they did the heartbeat, the lady kind of said, I kind of hear a second heartbeat, like it's pretty faint. But that's when they said, you know, they thought I was pregnant. Another month went by. They wanted me to go back to the hospital, do another ultrasound at this point. So now I'm really terrified because I'm like, I'm not pregnant, and this shit is fin to like really fuck me up because my judge was so sweet. She was so nice. Like she came from family court, so of course she was really nice, and she was very concerned that, you know, I'm pregnant with my first kid and I'm finna go to prison. So she was kind of like trying to be lenient or whatever. The state wanted me to do 8 years. They wanted 8 years. They wasn't coming off 8 years. They was not coming down. They wanted 8 years. But I ended up pleading out to my judge. So when I think that if I wouldn't have got caught in the lie about being pregnant, I wouldn't even got the 4 years. Because she ended up giving me 4 years. She gave me half of the 8. And the only reason why she gave me 4 is because she could not believe that I sat in her courtroom and lied. I was so embarrassed because all my friends thought I was pregnant. My mama, my grandma, everybody was going to bed like, oh my God, like, she's gonna be a first-time mom. Like, she cannot go to prison. So they ended up figuring out I wasn't pregnant, and the judge was like, she was very disappointed in me. And mind y'all, when you get sentenced, they don't say 4 years, 3 years, they say the month. So she said, I hereby sentence you to 48 months in state prison. Oh my God, I about lost my shit because I'm like, 48 months? I'm counting. How many years is that? Like, put it in layman's terms. How many years I'm finna do? Because 48 months, that is insane. That sounds like a long ass time. Like, 48 months. So at this time now, the boyfriend held me down or whatever, even after me like putting him out, even after the bullshit. I ended up stopped talking to Eggplant at the time. We wrote here and there. He would write me letters. I didn't call him that often because I couldn't believe that he was married, and I really didn't get a chance to kind of like digest it and talk to him about it because I told y'all it was the next day I went to court and they kept me. So, but the boyfriend, he held it down now. In the beginning, the 10 months that I did in county, he was there. He was not there for my prison sentence. I'm gonna get into that, but he was not there for that prison sentence, baby. Might I add, county time is some hard time. Literally, it's nothing to do in county. Like, you walk in circles, you might play a little cards here and there, eat, and go to bed. It's nothing that you can do. When they say rec, time to go outside to rec, you still caged in. You're not even outside, You're not even outside for real. It's like, you're still inside, but it's like a little gate around, not even outside. Like, you still in the building. It's a gate in the building. It's like you feel a little wind, that's all. But yeah, that was my 10 months in county. I spent 10 months in county and finally went to court and got sentenced to 48 months, which is 4 years. And now I'm finna go to prison. I'm back. So I left y'all off with I had ended up getting sentenced to 4 years, which is 48 months in the state prison. I had done did 10 months already in the county. Yes, it did go towards my sentence. So the time that I sat in county, they put it towards my prison sentence. So while I was awaiting to get shipped off to prison, I probably was still in county for about 2 more weeks. Within them 2 weeks, y'all, I was still delusional. I haven't even cried yet. Like, the fact that I was getting sent to prison for 4 years, I was just like more so shocked than like hurt. So I couldn't like grasp the fact, like, girl, you finna be gone for 4 years. But during that time, my mama had came to visit me, to see me or whatever. And y'all won't believe, I was still lying. Like, I was still telling my mom, like, I'm pregnant. My mom was like, cut the shit, Sierra. Like, the people already done told me that you're not pregnant, because she was already disappointed. And I just was like, I was sad that I had disappointed her and everybody else. So, because they was going to bat for me. So I was just like, Mom, them people don't know what they talking about. I am pregnant. My mom was like, listen, if you keep fucking lying, I'm finna walk out of this visitation right now and fuck you, basically. Like, don't reach out to me. I won't be talking to you for the next 4 years until you bring your ass home if you gonna continue to lie to me. So I'm just like, oh my God, like, I gotta tell my mama the truth, because ain't no way I'm gonna be able to do 4 years without my mama. Like, I need my mama. I need somebody like there for me. Like, this is scary. I'm walking to something new, like something that I've never experienced before, and I need my mama. She was like, I got your back regardless of anything, but I can't have your fucking back if you ain't even telling me the truth. You ain't being honest with me. So if you're not gonna be honest with me, then I can't have your fucking back. So you right, Mom, you right. So I went and told my mama, yeah, Mom, I'm not pregnant. I was just, saying that because I was afraid to go to prison. I didn't know they were going to send me to prison if I was pregnant. So she accepted it or whatever. We both cried because now I'm realizing like I really am finna go up the road. So she like, okay, well, thank you for being honest. Now I got your back. Like, you ain't doing this time alone. We finna do this time together. I got a great ass mom, y'all. So now, 2 weeks passed by. The prison bus come pick me up. They called me to pack it up. It's time to go to prison. I'm scared shitless. Like, prison, it's like, you see stuff on TV, but you don't be really like, if you ain't experienced it, you be like, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God, like, I hope I don't be locked up like that. Like, I hope they don't treat me like that. So a big ass stupid big white bus come pulling up. I mean, not a regular school bus. I mean, it was super big, like a Greyhound or some shit, but it was a white little bus. They put the shackles on me. They put the cuffs on me. I immediately started crying because I'm just like, oh my God, this is my reality. So I get to the women's reception center. That's the women's reception center is a prison that you go to before you go to your actual real camp. They send all the women there because you basically got to learn the ropes of prison. They teach you, what you can't do, what you can do, kind of like, just a, introduction. So when I tell you, that was the worst part because they really want you to be scared before you go to your prison so you can be scared when you at the prison. Soon as you get there, they yelling at you like drill sergeants. Get in the fucking line. Walk in the fucking line. Don't step over the white line. Like on life. Like, don't step over the gun line. Like, you might get shot or some shit. Like, it was crazy. Then when you get in there, they immediately put you in this cage. It's a real big old cage fenced in like you're a freaking animal. Like, I'm looking like scared, like, oh my God, like I'm looking at people looking at me. I'm like, oh my God, what is gonna happen? I'm in a fucking cage like a dog. So then they call my last name or whatever. They did my little intake or whatever. Then they immediately give you some kind of like green shampoo, make you put it in your hair and make you wet your hair and wash your hair. They say it's for lice or whatever, but you immediately wash your hair and then they gonna make you take a picture. So you really want me on the internet looking stupid? So you want to put me on the internet like this while my hair all stupid, wild, bushy, wet, like they just try to embarrass you. After they finish taking your picture, they like yelling at, what size uniform you wear? I'm scared. Like, I don't know. You don't know? You better find out. Like, everything is just yelling. That's why I say I'm really like, I'm traumatized. I hate for somebody to get loud with me. I hate for somebody to yell at me because that's all they fucking do in prison is yell at you. So I end up getting my uniform, putting my uniform on. It's a girl next to me. She trying to talk to me. I'm scared. I don't even want to talk to nobody. Like, I'm just like, like, what you in here for? I'm scared to say anything. I don't know what I'm in here for. Like, it was just crazy. So that was the intake or whatever. Then they assign you to a dorm or whatever. You get assigned to a dorm and you go to your dorm. I'm not knowing the whole time. I'm not even finna be able to use the phone. Oh my God, how long I'm finna have to be here without using the phone? I need to call my mom. Like, I need to know what's going on. Without using the phone, I need to call my mom. Like, I need to know what's going on. So you can use the phone. You don't got your tablet yet. You do have a little computer where it was JPay at the time, but you got to stand in a long line for that. It was a long line every day to check and see if you had messages. So like people from the outside could add you on JPay or whatever to write you. So, and that's before you got a tablet. I needed my mama to know exactly where I was at so she can, put money on my books and stuff like that, etc. But I couldn't use the phone the whole time I was there. And I was probably in reception center for about a good 3 weeks or so, almost a month, without using the fucking phone. Just writing her, emailing her on JPay, and I had to stand in line for that every fucking day. When I tell you, at the reception center, they some fucking Billy badasses, like some big ass bullies. And I ain't saying I can beat everybody, and I ain't scared of nobody. But what I'm saying is, I'm a big girl, and I can handle mine. But soon as you on the yard, like, I'm new to this, so when they know you new, and you probably kind of like look a little scared, they're gonna try you. Child, why a girl done tried to skip me in the commissary line? Oh, I was not having that. Hey, baby, I might be new, but I'm far from motherfucking scary. I'm scared, like, of the environment, but I'm far from scary. So you ain't finna just jump in front of me, and I done stood in line, because first of all, you have to stand in a long line. They don't care if it's hot, raining, snowing. You got to stand in line for canteen. And they close it at a certain time, so you might be number 15 in line. When they get to number 12 or 13, that's it. Yard closed. So I done stood in line all this time for a whole hour just for the yard to close, and then this bitch thinks she finna get in front of me? Oh no, man, we ain't doing that. So that was my first argument at the reception center. It wasn't my first fight, but it was my first argument. I was like, hey, I'm in line. And she was like, I know that. I was like, you ain't finna skip me. And she was like, shit. So as the line went up, I politely moved right in front of her, like I said, you ain't finna skip me. I done stood in this line a whole hour, you ain't finna skip me. So basically what I'm getting at is you gotta stand up for yourself, because if I would've just backed down and just like let her have it, then she would've tried me again. So at this point, you already see the feistiness in me. You see, like, I ain't scared of you, bitch. Like, you ain't finna skip me. Like, I'm finna get in front of you. Don't play with me. You can get behind me, you can get on the side of me, but you ain't finna get in front of me. So you had to get up every morning at 5 a.m. to like clean your bed area, get up for count. Oh my God, y'all. Count time was the worst time in prison. Because some of them officers seem like they can't count, and you can't do nothing during count. You can barely motherfucking sneeze during count. You can't go use the bathroom. You can't do nothing during count. Count time is count time. You like a drill sergeant, you better be in count. So the reception center was kind of boring. It really wasn't nothing to do there. You did go in the yard, you sit at the tables and chit chat with the people. But like I said, I wasn't friendly. I didn't know people. I was a little scared of the environment. I wasn't trying to make no friends. But like I said, I was probably there like 30 days, almost 30 days. Probably day 22, I did end up meeting somebody, and we end up going to the same prison, like our real prison. And we've been like this ever since. And we still friends now. But child, they scared the shit out of me. They kicked my bunk. Hey, pack it up. I'm like, pack it up? Where am I going? Because at this point, I didn't know that I was going to a real prison. I just thought that I was in a reception center. I found out when they kicked my bunk and told me to pack it up. So they was like, you finna go to a prison. So on certain days, you knew like what prison you was going to, because on Wednesday you would go to Gaston, on Thursday you would go to Hernando, stuff like that. And it was a Wednesday, so everybody was like, oh, you going to Gaston, you going to Gaston, like, oh, you going to Cupcake camp. I'm like, Cupcake camp? They're like, yeah, girl, that shit's sweet. It's a walk in the park. So now my anxiety done calmed down a little bit, because I'm like, oh, okay, like, but I'm still scared. But I'm like, okay, they say it's Cupcake camp. A little small disclaimer before I get back into it. I was 26, almost 27 years old when I committed this crime, or when I went in. I'm 34 years old now, so I didn't have the mindset that I have now back then. I can't go back and change the things that I did. I was a little dumb, but I'm way more wiser now. And might I add, I needed this prison sentence. It changed me. So just want to throw that out there. So like I was saying, they woke me up, told me that I'm going to Gaston, which is a private camp. So when I say private, meaning they have a lot of more amenities than the DOC have. So it was Cupcake camp is what they called it, meaning it's not real prison. It was real prison to me. Like anything was real prison. I was away from home, locked up, and being told what to do. So it was real prison. The girl that I had met at the reception center, she came with me, so I already knew somebody, like, and we were, cool or whatever. We got separated when we got to the Cupcake camp, which is Gaston. So we was kind of like, oh my God, no. But we would see each other at Rec all the time. Like, we would meet up at the child hall, and we would hang out. The first thing I wanted to do was use the phone. I didn't care about nothing else. Like, I needed to call my mama and let her know, like, hey, I'm gone. I'm at this new camp. Please put in your visitation form. I need y'all to come see me, like, as soon as possible, because I need to see my family. So when you first get to prison, your phone pen don't be working. Like, you got to get it activated or whatever so it can start working. Well, I had ended up paying somebody when I got there, because mind you, I had commissary that they didn't have on this campus yet. Like, they wanted some of the stuff that we had from county or from the reception center that they didn't have over there. So I was able to trade and sell some things to make phone calls before my pen was working. I called my mama. They called her on three-way, and I really wanted to just bust out and cry, because I was so happy to hear my mama's voice. But I held it in, because I didn't want nobody to be like, this crybaby ass. So my mama had kind of gave me words of encouragement, telling me to stay strong. She's getting ready to do her application. She's coming to see me as soon as she can, and just keep my head up. I hung up the phone with my mama, and I immediately kind of like was trying to get acclimated, even though I still could not. Like, I was just crying. Like, I went in the bathroom stall and just boo-hoo cried. Like, I could not believe this was my reality. Like, girl, you is in prison, like, and you finna be here for a while, so you might as well get comfortable because you can't go nowhere. So I had got my bed assignment. Mind y'all, I am a heavyset girl. So why would y'all put me on the top bunk? Like, I'm supposed to climb up here on this bunk bed and get on the top? Like, I immediately was so mad because, like, why would y'all do me like that? So I climb up there, and immediately as I get up there, all I hear is a whole bunch of yelling, countdown, 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 countdown. I'm like, what is going on? Mind y'all, again, all they do is yell. So the yelling is like taking me out at this point because all you hear all day is yelling. And count time is very serious on the compound. No movement at all. Don't get up, don't talk. You talk, you getting rolled up. Too many DRs and CCs, you going to lock. So you better be still on your bunk. So I was in Charlie dorm, that C dorm, and might I add, it was like a privilege to get in Charlie dorm, and they end up putting me in Charlie dorm. So I guess like I was supposed to be happy about that because Charlie dorm, there was different parts of it. Two of the Charlie dorms were the dog dorm. So they had a dog program at this prison, and they had all types of dogs. And I was happy a little bit about it because, mind you, I had two dogs. I had two purebred Maltese, Bentley and Bella, and I had to leave them behind. And I was really, really sad about that because those were like my babies, like my kids. I love those dogs so bad. So I was in the dog dorm, and I kind of liked it. I was in the dog dorm for probably about my first 4 months there. I ended up getting kicked out of the dog dorm because apparently you're not supposed to feed the dogs. If you feed the dogs real food, like, that's a big no-no. And them dogs used to be whining and crying, and I felt like they were hungry. Like, they're supposed to be, they were there for, like, support. The people, you had to be in the program and you train them. You train them to get them ready to either go with, like, somebody blind, somebody that needs, like, a service dog, because that's what they were, service dogs. So they didn't want you feeding them. But I felt sorry for the dogs. I felt like, hey, they were hungry, so I fed them. When they kicked me out, they end up putting me in faith-based. Oh my God, y'all, faith-based was a trip. Faith-based was something else. So here I am at the Cupcake camp. I'm here for about 4 months now. I finally get a job. So everybody has to work in prison. You cannot just lay around and not do anything. You either going to be you're going to be a houseman. A houseman is somebody that stay in the dorm and you clean up the dorm and you have different assignments in the dorm. You're going to either work in the kitchen, inside grounds, outside grounds, laundry. You're going to have a job in prison. Nobody's laying around. You're going to get your ass up every day and you're going to work. And no, you don't get paid. You get paid for your days. So game time, you get game time in there. You get 10 days a month. So you get 5 for working and 5 for good behavior. You might not get your 10 days every month, depending on you. If you get a CC, which is kind of like you that's getting rolled up, but that's like a warning. And then DR, but you can get days taken, like 2 days or so for CCs and DRs. Well, I was on the call out for work call, and they assigned my job. My job was in the kitchen. In the hellhole, Hell's Kitchen. That's what we called it. In the beginning, I was like, oh, okay, I get to go work in the kitchen. I was kind of happy because I was bored those first 4 months, like I had nothing to do. I was in a dog dorm smelling and looking at dogs. So I was kind of happy. Mind y'all, I got kicked out of the dog dorm for feeding the dogs, so now I'm in faith-based, okay? But I'm just moving up a little bit, which I'm telling y'all, I got a job in the kitchen. I was happy a little bit because I was like, okay, give me something to do. They was so strict in the kitchen, like, oh my God, we had one officer named Mango. Nobody liked her. Nobody liked her. She was such a bitch. And she was real young or whatever, but she used to be a hater. Like, she hated on all the inmates. She even got in a fight with an inmate, but she used to hate on the inmates so bad because she felt like, oh, some of the officers wanted the inmates, and she wanted the officer. Like, girl, you in the free world. Like, you can get who you want to get. We can't help that officers want us. So, anyways, I was placed in morning shift. Morning shift, I think I had to be to work at 5 a.m. and I got off at like 12 or so. Yeah, right before count 12. So I worked the morning shift, which was cool. So we did breakfast and we started lunch. My supervisor, Miss Meech, she was really cool, a really nice older black lady. She was so sweet. Like, she was like our grandma. She was really sweet. The kitchen is where it went down at, y'all. When I tell you, I didn't originally come in there doing the things that I eventually left doing, but I will say I got my hands dirty. By this time, I'm still like, new to the prison, but I'm kind of like not comfortable, but getting a little acclimated, if I must say. So everybody in there kind of like stole out the kitchen. So you sell stuff on the compound. You sell onions, bell peppers, rice, butter. I'm naming you the most popular items that people wanted on the compound. Butters, onions, peppers, seasonings, rice, cornbread mix. I think that's it. That's about it. That's the most popular stuff that people wanted on the compound. So on Saturdays, every Saturdays, it was a salad bar. So with salad bar, you get onions and bell peppers. So everybody got onions and bell peppers on their tray. So they would put it in a bag or whatever so they can take it back to their dorm, because we had microwaves in the dorm. And people want to make Chinese food, which we would use brown rice, brown fried rice, and pork skins, and some other stuff. And that's making Chinese food. So they wanted their onions and peppers. Well, I guess it was against the rules to take your onions and bell peppers out the chow hall, because they would pat you down as you would leave the chow hall every Saturday to see like if you got onions and peppers, like literally patting you down, putting your hands on the wall, turn around, patting you down to see if you got onions and bell peppers. Crazy, right? So now I'm back. I'm at the faith base. I really did not want to be in faith base, y'all. Like I said, you really like have to sign up for faith base and be selected to be in that program. But since I got kicked out of the dog norm, they automatically put me in faith base. At this time, I'm battling my faith right now because I'm still upset with God. I was blaming God because I'm like, how could God love me and he sent me to prison and I ain't never really been in trouble? So I'm battling my faith at this point. So I didn't want to be in faith base. I didn't want nothing to do with God, because I'm just like, God don't love me. But not knowing what I know now and what I eventually learned, like, girl, take accountability because you put yourself here. God had to sit you down for a reason. So I had to gain my relationship back with God. But I did not want to be in faith-based. So anyways, at this point, I'm taking my onions and bell peppers back in faith-based too. Now, faith-based is so strict. When I tell you strict, a bunch of fake holier than thou women in there, okay? I did not participate in like the little gathering. So every morning in faith base, you had to get up. They had praise and worship, and they had like a little circle thing where they have prayer and read the scriptures. I was still upset with God, so I didn't want to join that. Like, I didn't want to be in that, so I didn't do it. And they already was like kind of telling the chaplain on me then, like, oh, Sierra's not joining or whatever. So I kind of got a coaching then and threatened to get kicked out of faith base. So once I found out, oh, I'm getting threatened to get kicked out of faith base, good. Now I'm happy because now I'm really not joining the circle. So I went to the chow hall. I'm leaving the chow hall on a Saturday, and I bring my onions and bell peppers back. I get ready to cook my food in the microwave. They like hound dogs sniffing like, oh, I smell onions and bell peppers. I smell onions and bell peppers. Now, mind y'all, in the other dorm, they don't give a damn. They bringing their onions and bell peppers back. This is faith-based, where they supposed to do everything right, so they not bringing their onions and bell peppers back. Child, them people used to be hating on me so bad. Like, they was telling the chaplain everything. Like, oh, she bring her onions and bell peppers back. Oh, my God, it was just a mess. I eventually got kicked out of faith base. So now I'm getting ready to go to the working dorm, which was the kitchen dorm, because now I work in the kitchen, and I'm getting ready to get moved to the kitchen dorm. Y'all, I regretted getting kicked out of faith base. The kitchen dorm was A dorm, which is Alpha dorm. Baby, Alpha dorm was the hood, like the straight hood where they get down and dirty in there. When I first walked in there, I immediately cried. They was smoking cigarettes. They was having sex. They was doing whatever they wanted to do. It's like the officers was scared of A dorm. At this point, I'm like, what did I just get myself into? Like, oh my God, like, I cannot believe I'm getting sent to Alpha Dorm. Like, I cannot live in here. I called my mama like, Ma, they just moved me to Alpha Dorm. I don't want to be in here, blah, blah. But nah, you ain't want to be in faith-based. So you got sent to Alpha Dorm, where it goes down there. Like, oh my God, it was so crazy, y'all. But anyway, so back to the kitchen. When I tell y'all, I end up becoming Big Meech on the compound with the stuff from the kitchen. Oh, I didn't play, baby. I was that girl selling that stuff on the compound. Like onions, bell peppers, butter, etc. You name it, I had it. And I like to sell my stuff to the goody two-shoes, Miss Charlie girls, because Charlie Dorm had the money. Them girls had the money over there. Like, I was going to say something else, but I don't think that's appropriate. But those girls in Charlie Dorm, they were very spoiled. Their parents sent them lots of money, and they had it over there. So that's where I sold my stuff at. Part 7 of Surviving Prison. Okay, y'all, so I think I'm moving a little too fast. So I'm going to back it up a little bit, because before I went to Alpha Dorm, the kitchen dorm, I still was in faith-based. I didn't get kicked out until about the third warning. So I would get all these different warnings or whatever. But so I did like 6 months in faith-based before I went to Alpha Dorm, because I was still working in the kitchen from faith-based. And that was really like a privilege too, because if you're in faith-based, you're not supposed to work in the kitchen. If you're working in the kitchen, you have to be in the kitchen dorm. But I was still able to be in faith-based. At this time, I had done gained my faith back. I ended up going to the prayer circle. I ended up going to the chapel. I just end up trusting God again and thanking him for basically putting me in this place where I needed to reevaluate myself and get back into my word. So I was still in faith-based. But while I was still in faith-based, I still had the women telling on me, because even though I was in faith-based, even though I started joining the circle and doing what I was supposed to do, I still would sneak my onions and bell peppers in there. Like, that's how I wanted to eat my food. So I'm going to sneak it in there. And to be honest, I really feel like it was some of the women was in there, they was hating because they really wanted to have the onions and bell peppers in their food, and they wanted to bring it back, but they couldn't because they were so holier than thou, and they didn't want to do the wrong thing, so they were hating on me. One day, one of the ladies that was over the circle, that's so holier than thou, she asked me, she came to my bunk and was like, hey, if I pay you, you think you can sneak me some onions and bell peppers back? No, not you. You want me to sneak you some onions and bell peppers back? Why? So you can tell on me? But eventually, of course, I end up getting her some onions and bell peppers off of the salad bar or whatever. I didn't get her a whole onion and bell pepper. I got her the chopped up ones off the salad bar or whatever. And I didn't allow her to pay me. I just, was being nice or whatever because I'm a nice person. And I brought her some back. And she was cool. She didn't tell. But that dorm was something else. You couldn't watch TV after a certain time. You couldn't use the phone after a certain time. They were just really, really strict. I eventually started liking the chaplain, Miss Harris. She was so nice or whatever. She took her time with me because she knew that I was struggling with being there and I was struggling with my faith. So she took her time with me and she kind of took me under her wing, the chaplain. She used to be trying so hard with me, y'all. She used to be like, come on, Sierra. I know you got it in you. I know you can do it. Stop being defiant. Stop fighting it. And it was just like, whatever, I don't want to be in here, I don't want to be here. But it seemed like the more I didn't want to be in there, the more she kept me, up until it was like the final straw. Like, when she found out that I was getting stuff out the kitchen, she was like, you know what, I know what you're doing. I'm not even going to write you up and send you to law. I'm just going to go ahead and dismiss you at the program. So at this time, now I'm just like, oh my God, no. Like, I'm sad because I don't want to leave the program because I eventually started loving the program. Now I don't want to leave the program. I want to stay in there. Not to mention, faith-based was kind of like safe. Like, you really didn't have to worry about too much that went on the compound because it was just safe in there. It was quiet. It was just like friendly. It was just safe. It was a safe space in there. So now that's when I end up rewinding back. I end up getting moved to Alpha Dorm, which it was smoked out in there. It was just bad in there, y'all. It was so, so bad. Like, y'all, it was the hood. It was so ratchet. Like, I couldn't believe, I'm like, I don't fit in here. Like, I don't belong here. So like I was telling y'all, I was selling stuff on the compound, putting onions, bell peppers. The onions will go between $4 and $5 per onion. The really big ones will be $5 and $6. The bell peppers were $4. The seasoning, we would bag them up in different like gloves. So if you wanted a whole glove, that's like $10, or it's $1. No, a whole glove is $5 because it's $1 a finger. So yeah, I was selling trapping out the kitchen. Now I was never a thief. Like, that's not what I did on the outside. I wasn't a booster. I never stole. But how I get in prison and start stealing? Now that's the crazy part. So my friend that was at the reception center with me, I was really happy because she was working in the kitchen too. And so now we reunited, and she's in that dorm now. She's in Alpha dorm. So I'm like, oh my God, like I get a little acclimated to that dorm. One rule in prison, do not get comfortable. You don't get comfortable in no dorm you go in, because you're subject to move. They have a move list every week, and you never know who's on the move list. The move list you would think that you're really getting evicted or something, because you would be so scared that you're getting moved, especially if you get in trouble or they think they know something that you did or anything. Some of the officers was cool, so they'll tell you like who on the move list or whatever. You go to the window and be like, hey, you'll check the move list and see if my name on the move list or whatever. You were praying that you was not on that move list. But anyways, she was in that dorm, so I was kind of happy, like, oh my God, I'm back with my girl. Although I seen her every morning because she worked in the kitchen and she worked on the same shift. So anyway, so it was me, her, and another girl that we had got close to. So we was stealing out the kitchen. We was trapping out the kitchen, selling our products or whatever. Y'all, at this point, you would think that we selling drugs. So this one particular day, we hadn't really got all our stuff. Like, oh my God, I forgot to tell y'all about Miss Thomas. Miss Thomas was a mean old lady. She was a kitchen officer as well. Baby, one thing about it, when Miss Thomas was at work, we could never steal. Miss Thomas would make you pull down your clothes, lift up your bra, everything. You was not stealing with Miss Thomas. There's no way you was getting by with Miss Thomas. You were not stealing out that kitchen if Miss Thomas was at work. So I just had to add that in there. But Miss Thomas was not at work this particular day. So we end up getting all our stuff, seasonings, potatoes, onions, peppers, you name it, we had it. So we went in and put it in the bushes by our dorm. Now, it was some other girls that used to steal too. So they found out where we had put our stash at. By the time we get off work and we go to our stash, it's gone. That's like somebody stealing your drugs. So we like, oh hell no, where our shit? Like, we finna run down now on about our drugs, but our food. So they in the other Alpha dorm, which was right across from us. So we know who it is because y'all the only ones kind of knew where we had our stuff at. So we knocking on the door, whatever. We had a cool officer in there at the time. He ended up buzzing the door and he let us in. So we like running up on the girls like, hey, what's up? Where our stuff at? We know y'all got it. They try to like, oh, we ain't got it. Nah, where is our food? Like, we put it in these bushes and we know y'all got it. Hey y'all, I know y'all missed me. Part 8 of Surviving Prison. So as I was saying, we had them ran in the dorm on the girls about stealing our onions, bell peppers, and all the stuff that we had in the bushes. Well, once the officer figured out what was going on at the time and seen that we was going to get ready to fight and he seen a lot of commotion going on, he immediately called for backup and like told us to hurry up and get out the dorm or we going to lock. So of course we walked out the dorm and we left. The next day, they were on PM shift. We were on AM shift. So apparently they had couldn't get their stuff out of the kitchen that day, and so they left their stuff behind and hid it. We found it on our shift and we stole their shit. So they had spaghetti noodles, elbow noodles, bleach, pudding, and rice. So we got their stash. So now it's like a war. We feuding. They mad because we done got them back. So basically now they telling the officers and stuff like, hey, they stealing, like snitching and shit. So for like a week straight, when we got ready to leave work, we would get searched extra hard now. So like we had to take like a week off or whatever, and we couldn't steal because they was really on us, like watching us and just patting us down extra hard now. So since then, the following week, we end up pushing our stuff out the swill. So therefore, it was a swill window, and that's where people push their trays in once they done eating or whatever, and you got somebody at the window collecting the trays. So when they will call our dorm for breakfast, I would find somebody that I knew in my dorm that I could pay to say, hey, when you come to breakfast, grab my stuff. I'm going to push it out the swivel window. And they'll take it for me. So they wouldn't stop at no kind of motion. Like, one thing about it, it's ways around everything. Eventually, we end up getting another food director, which her name was Miss O. When I tell you she was hell, so she kind of tried to stop us from stealing, basically. Like, she really, really was on our ass. But she was so mean and nasty. She used to try to have us scrub walls, floors, like, do all kind of stuff. That's when I really started to hate the kitchen. Like, I really hated the kitchen. I tried to do everything to get out the kitchen. Even though I was making money, it was cool or whatever, but I was just like, I don't like this kitchen. I got to get out of this kitchen. I want another job. Like, but it seemed like I could never get out of the kitchen no matter what I tried. And y'all, I tried some shit. I psyched out. So one day I psyched out because I told them if they put me back in the kitchen with Miss O, I'm going to throw her in the pot. I'm going to cook her. I just said all kind of stuff to try to get out. And I was in psych mode, so they believed me. So they took me out of the kitchen for maybe 2 weeks. After them 2 weeks, next thing I know, I'm back on the work call list and I'm back in the kitchen. I even fell out the bed to say I done broke my ankle and everything. Done went to the hospital just to get out the kitchen. They always took me out the kitchen for a little while and put me right back. I used to call my mama for every little thing. Anything that the officer said to me, anything that they did, anything, I called my mama, and guess what she did? She called Tallahassee, because when you call Tallahassee, basically, that's the whole DOC department. Like, they like the upper people. So they're gonna call the prison to try to figure out what's going on and investigate, because they used to try to treat you like you ain't got family, like you don't got people that love you. My mama love me, and she gonna make sure just because I'm in prison, I ain't gotta get treated like a dog. So they would get mad, like the lieutenants and stuff, and would call me like, oh, your mama called Tallahassee, oh, mama's girl, stuff like that, and did. So again, they took me out the kitchen for about a month this time, but I eventually always go back to the kitchen. It's crazy. Like, they just did not want me to get out that kitchen. And Miss O used to terrorize us. One day she came in there, she was so upset because she couldn't find the stuff. Like, she knew that we were stealing that day, and she couldn't find the stuff that we had done stole. So she came in there, she started taking everybody's jackets off the rack. She started throwing them on the floor, stomping on them, putting them in like a puddle of water. I mean, it was that bad. The kitchen was bad, y'all. Even though you got to get stuff out of the kitchen and steal, it's bad. It was so bad, though, to the fact that Miss O was so mad one day, she went to the classifications and told classifications to take, she want me personally out of her kitchen because she could not catch me stealing, and she knew I was stealing, so she personally wanted me out of the kitchen. She told them I was a liability. Please get Sierra out of my kitchen because she's a liability. I know she's stealing. I can't catch her, but she's stealing all the stuff out of the kitchen. She's the one selling the stuff on the compound, but they couldn't prove it. So it hadn't got so bad to they would come to Alpha Dorm all the time and do shakedowns. So when they do shakedowns, but I never kept nothing in my locker. I had an extra locker. I would pay this girl to keep my stuff in her locker. All my stolen goods, I'm paying somebody to put it in their locker, because when we do a shakedown, I don't want nothing caught in my locker and I'm going to law. And when you get people like that, that means she ain't really getting a lot of commissary and stuff like that. So she was cool with, hey, I keep it in my locker. If you paying me, I keep it in my locker. I'm getting her $10 a week. And I'm giving her some of the stuff out of the kitchen, but I'm giving her $10 off of commissary a week. So it was nothing to get my stuff and put it in another locker. So I never got caught with the shakedown. I did get caught one time with bleach because they didn't give us bleach, so we had to steal the bleach out of the kitchen because I didn't send my stuff to laundry. I was never sending my uniforms to laundry or my linen to laundry. I had a person that did my linen. She washed my sheets every Saturday, and I paid her like $5 to $7 every Saturday. And of course, the sheets white, so I need bleach. So I always kept me some bleach. And then we had like bubble orderlies, and they would get bleach too. But the bubble orderlies was so stingy, they didn't even want to give us extra tissue. They gave people extra tissue who they fuck with, but if they ain't really fuck with you like that, they wouldn't give you extra tissue. That was crazy. So this is kind of where stuff started getting real crazy for me. So I'll put this out here, a little small disclaimer. If I was on the free world, I would have never, ever even thought about talking to this guy. But anyways, so I had ended up seeing an officer or whatever, the same cool officer that had kind of like buzzed us in when we was running down on the girls about our stuff. this is the officer that I kind of started liking. And he was flirting with me too. So I was like, oh, I'm finna get him, because if you get close to an officer, I'm finna get him to start bringing me some free roll stuff in. So it was a girl that I was kind of close to, from Orlando or whatever. And I took her under my wing. Used to call her my little sister or whatever. Look out for her, etc. And so she knew that the guy was flirting with me or whatever. So I started making her like my lookout for when he come to the, like when he was in the bubble. And late nights when I want to get up out my bed when everybody supposed to be asleep, I'm going to the bubble and I'm just talking to him. So she was kind of like looking out. Or if, because he worked graveyard shift, or if he was in our bubble in our dorm and I was asleep, she would come and wake me up and be like, hey, your people in the bubble, so I can go in the hallway and talk to him or whatever. So she was kind of my lookout. Me and him was kind of like talking for about a good 6 months, gotta be, before things ended. And they ended because of her. People always backstab me. Yeah, I know. So one day, it was close to my birthday, so therefore I'm finna get ready to have visitation, because my birthday coming and my mama coming to see me for my birthday. She worked in the kitchen too, and she ended up getting into an argument that led into a fight. So she basically wanted me to help her, and I'm like, girl, I'm not finna help you fight this girl. Like, I'm telling her to chill out, like, it ain't that serious, like, chill out, because I'm not helping you fight this girl, because I'm not missing my visitation. My mom already said she coming to see me for my birthday. I'm not missing my visitation, so you need to chill out. But she still proceeded, and she wanted to fight the girl, and the girl beat her ass, and she got mad because I didn't help, so she ended up going to law. Stay. Part 9 of Surviving Prison. So like I was telling y'all, I was messing with this officer. He would flirt with me, I would flirt back, and we just was kind of feeling each other. So we started talking. So we started talking, and I wasn't gonna start talking to him for free. Like, what's up? What can you bring me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you on a free roll, I'm in here. So you can have anybody, but you want to talk to me? So I'm gonna work him. So he would bring in like little roll-on perfumes or whatever. He would bring in makeup, food, like anything that I asked him, he would bring in. Cigarettes was the main thing. So he would bring in cigarettes, and I started selling cigarettes. Because that's what the compound wanted, cigarettes and drugs. But I would sell cigarettes. So like a little tiny little piece, like just like my nail size, that right there would go for $3. A whole cigarette, one Newport short, that's going for $30. So I made my money off of cigarettes. I was still working in the kitchen, hustling out the kitchen, but I was making my money off of cigarettes. Them cigarettes was going. They buying them cigarettes. They don't give a damn. They want them cigarettes. Because, mind y'all, they used to sell cigarettes back in the days, but they stopped selling them. I don't know why they took them off canteen or whatever, but they used to sell cigarettes back in the day. They stopped selling them. So I got cigarettes. I'm finna sell them for what I want to sell them for. I'm talking about, y'all, people will call home, have their people cash out, my people, Apple Pay, whatever. Them cigarettes were selling. Got me? So I sold the cigarettes on the compound, and I would sell like little pieces, like real little small pieces, for $5. So a whole cigarette was $30. If you wanted one Newport, that's $30. But if you want a little small piece or whatever, that was $5. So I'm making my money, like, I'm still kind of hustling out the kitchen, but I'm really making my money off the cigarettes, because these cigarettes are really going. He ended up bringing, like, liquor, like, if I wanted, like, me and my girls want to drink on holidays, like, I only asked him to bring, like, liquor on holidays, so, like, Christmas, Thanksgiving, stuff like that. Like, white liquor, tequila, and stuff like that, he would bring in water bottles. Brown liquor, he would bring in like tea, sweet tea, or like peach tea or something like that. That would be the brown liquor. And we would get lit, like just me and my girls or whatever, and we wouldn't let nobody know, like we was goofy as fuck. Like, you know how when you get drunk you be goofy as fuck and stuff like that. So people used to be like, what is wrong with them? Like, what's going on? They never knew. But yeah, we used to get so lit. Like, I had the plug on my team, so I mean, why not? So eventually, of course, if he bringing all this stuff in, of course he wants something out the deal. But let me tell y'all, promise pussy is the best pussy. And what I mean by that is, every time he was like, oh, what's up with, when we gonna do that or whatever, I used to be like, oh, I'm on my period. But when I get off my period, I promise I'm gonna give you some. Oh, I don't feel good, but I promise when I get better, I'm gonna give you some. Or just every time I had an excuse, but I promise I'm gonna give you some. And he just went for it. Just dumb. So I'm hustling, making my money. Anything I asked for, this man brought me. Free real food, like if whatever lunch he had for that night or whatever he brought in, he made sure that I got it. And I used to share with the girl and all, like I'm giving her some, like he putting it in like a container and stuff, and I'm putting it in my locker. So the next day I'm giving her some, like, I'm warming it up and just giving her some, just looking out for her, because that was my little sis. That's what I'm calling her, little sis. Child, so when she goes to confinement for the fight, apparently she done told another officer that me and this officer talking. Oh my God, here go the shit. But before then, so people be arguing on the trays. So like the trays that we feed confinement, when we're in the kitchen, we get them back, like confinement trays, we get them back so we can wash them and all this and that. So the person that's in the dish room, people argue all the time, like they argue in confinement on the trays, like to each other, people that's in confinement. So they be reading the trays, like the people that's in the dish room, they read the trays. So somebody called me like, hey Sierra, such and such done rolled, like selling out about you on the tray. So I'm like, what she said? So I get back there and I'm reading, like, she like, oh, fuck you, po ass hoe. Po? I feed you. I call your people, but okay. She was like, oh, you must was scared. You couldn't help me fight, but I'm supposed to be your sister. You damn right. I was not gonna miss my visitation from my mama on my birthday. You're right. I did not help you fight. But she was just selling out, like just going in or whatever. So I end up finding out that she the one, because she was mad at the time, told another officer that I was talking to him. I found out because his friend, which was his coworker, she ended up knocking on my bunk about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, telling me to get up and step outside, which means step in the hallway. So when I step in the hallway, she tried to check me, y'all. She was like, what's up with you and officer such and such? You around here telling people that y'all talk? So I'm like, huh? She like, and she was so ghetto. She was like, don't motherfucking harm me. You know what the fuck going on? Are you telling people that you and such talk? I was like, I don't even know who that is. She was like, oh, you know who it is. He being here on this such and such shift. And I'm like, who is that? I'm playing dumb. Like, I don't know this officer. It's a million officers. I don't know this officer. So she was like, you can play dumb all you want to, but I know you telling people because your friend done ratted you out. So I'm like, who is my friend? She like, blah, blah, blah. And she in confinement. So she done ratted you out. So I'm going to let you know right now, if you going around telling people that you talk to him, end that shit right now, because you ain't finna get my motherfucking friend fired. I'm just like, oh my God. Like, this is too much. So I'm still denying it. I'm like, I don't know who your friend is, but yeah. And tell her to keep my name out her mouth, because I ain't talking to no officer. And if I was talking to an officer, I ain't telling nobody. So she ended up letting me go back to my bunk or whatever. But now I'm fire hot, because I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, why would she do that? Next day, I'm in the library and I see officer sergeants or some sergeants and an officer come in there or whatever. I'm not like really paying them no mind, but they come up to me and tell me, hey, Sierra, they call you by your last name, but they say, Sierra, cuff up. Cuff up. What did I do? So I'm like, what did I do? They're like, we'll explain it later. Cuff up. So I turn around, put my hands behind my back, because that means cuff up. So they end up taking me to the investigator lady, and she started questioning me. She like, hey, Miss such and such. I'm going to just say my first name because I don't want to say my last name, even though y'all might know. But anyway, so she called me Sierra. Hey, are you talking to officer such and such? I'm like, no, ma'am. I don't know who that is. She like, so you don't know who officer such and such is with the pretty eyes and the beautiful voice, because he's the same. So I'm like, no, I don't know who that is. She like, okay, well, it seems like you want to play dumb. We know who it is. We know you know who it is. But okay, cool. So she like, well, so now I'm giving the officers the permission right now to go ahead and search your locker. If they search your locker, are they gonna find anything? So I'm like, no, they ain't gonna find nothing. Child, they goes and ramshack my locker, y'all. They looking through my composition books, notebooks, everything you can think of. Mind y'all, I been got rid of the card that he had ended up giving me, but they go through every single thing. Like, oh, it was just so embarrassing. Like, because people in the dorm like, what is going on? So I ended up going to Locke because they put me under investigation. Now, mind y'all, they went and got him too. And they put him on investigation after they interviewed him and asked him, hey, do he know inmate Sierra? Is he messing with her? Blah, blah, blah. He denied everything too. But, of course he denied anything. But anyway, so he ended up getting suspended for a while. I was in Locke for about 45 days. Worst 45 days of my sentence in my life. Mind y'all, when you're in confinement, you use the phone once a week. You come out, you're in that dorm, you in that cell for 23 hours a day. You come out one time a day to go to rec, but you're still like caged up. So you can see other inmates that's in confinement. We all in cages and we can talk to each other in those cages, but that's it. You come out 23 hours, you come out 1 hour a day, but you're locked up 23 hours a day. And you get to use the phone one time. So I think it was like on Thursdays. It go by your last name. So I used the phone on Thursdays. And I called my mama because my mama was worried. And when I got to talk to her, she was just like, why you ain't been calling me? So I'm telling her like, hey, I'm in confinement. So she like, what you done did? Like, why are you in confinement? I'm like, I don't know. They say I'm talking to an officer. They got me on the investigation. I ain't talking to no officer. I don't know what they talking about. So now my mama pissed like, I'm finna call Tallahassee. Here you go, Tallahassee. I'm finna call Tallahassee because what's going on? You talk to an officer. They don't got proof that you talk to the officer. Then they need to let you the fuck out. Like, what the fuck going on? Blah, blah. So at this point, I'm still in Locke. I'm still under investigation. Even after my mama called Tallahassee, there was nothing that my mom was able to do to save me. And that's what I had to realize during this whole sentence, that I can't keep calling on my mama. My mama can't save me from everything, especially when I'm wrong. I felt like my mama was Superwoman. Like, she can save me from anything. Like, she can do anything. She's my superhero, which I still feel like that. But when I'm wrong, I'm just wrong. So I'm still in Locke. I did about 43 days. And on the 43rd day, they came back and they said, like, they didn't find anything. Of course, y'all wasn't going to find anything because I'm smarter than that. Duh. So basically, they can't keep me in Locke under what another inmate said. Like, if they don't have proof, they got to let me go. So that was the 43rd day. So once y'all done came and told me that, okay, like, what's up? Like, I'm knocking on the door, like, hey, pressing the button, hey, what time I'm getting out of here? Like, if the investigation over, baby, like, let me out of here. They really, like, felt like I was talking to the officer. So they took their time, like, all day. They kept me in there all day. I'm still asking, like, what's going on? I ain't eating lunch. I ain't taking no another shower. Like, I'm ready to get out of here and get back on the compound. Child, they waited until after master roster count, 10 p.m. to let me out and go back to a regular dorm. I was so pissed. Like, I was so mad because I knew they was fucking with me. They was fucking with me. They really did not want to let me out. So they let me out and I end up going back to Alpha dorm, but the other side. Now I'm really mad because I want to go back to my same dorm. You know, like I said, never get comfortable in prison because you're subject to move at any time. But I had already had my people over there and stuff like that. So, like, I want to go back to my same dorm. Child, they put me in another dorm and I was just so mad. But the first thing I do was, like, trying to look for him, like, where he at. Mind y'all, he's still under investigation, so he's still suspended. He's not at work. I'm really mad because now my money cut off. Like, I ain't got no cigarettes to sell. I ain't even got no perfume to smell good. Like, what's tea? Like, I was so mad. So, of course, they put me back in the kitchen. So now I'm back working in Hell's Kitchen, and I'm really mad because, like, I don't want to be in the kitchen, like, but I'm in the kitchen because now I'm finna, get my hustle on. And might I add, I was hustling because that's just in me. I'm a hustler regardless. In prison, out of prison, I'm a hustler, so I'm going to always make my money. But I did not have to. Of course, my mama made sure I had money at all times. And I had friends that sent me money too. So I did not have to do it, but that's just in me. So I just wanted to add that. So I'm back in Hell's Kitchen. Of course, the whole compound know what's going on. So I get back in the kitchen. Everybody asking me like, damn, what happened? They say, oh, girl told on you or whatever. Mind you, she's still in Locke. I never saw her in Locke because we don't get to see, like, the other inmates that's in Locke. So I never saw her. But anyway, so everybody like, oh, girl told on you. And I was just like telling everybody, like, I don't know what that was about. Like, I ain't never talked to no officer. I don't know, I don't know. So fast forward a little bit, maybe like a week after I got out of lock, he was able to come back to work because, of course, they didn't find anything. So they tried their hardest to never put him in any dorm that I stayed in. Like, if I was in Alpha, he was not able to work in Alpha. So that ain't stopping nothing. So, of course, like, I got cool officers all around the compound. So, he worked in other dorms or whatever, and I would just go sneak in other dorms just to talk to him. And, he said, like, hey, your people told, she said that we was talking, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And that's how I got out, which we already knew that. So now he just basically saying, like, we just got to keep this shit on the wraps. Like, you can't really be coming over here like that. I'ma still look out for you, but we just got to kind of, like, keep this shit on the hush, especially till it blow over. But he ended up bringing more cigarettes or whatever. I was still selling cigarettes on the compound. It kind of slowly faded away because he became sergeant. Now, when he became sergeant, everything was cool. He was never in the dorms like that no more because sergeants don't really work in the dorms. So I would see him in the past in like breezeway. He would come in the kitchen sometimes just to make jokes or just to talk to me, just to look at me, and just shit like that. When this nigga became lieutenant, he became lieutenant after sergeant. Baby fed me dust. Okay, he didn't look my way. He didn't talk to me. I guess now you want to take your job serious, so you ain't fucking with me at all. Like, he a white shirt. Like, he looked at me like I was a peasant. Okay, so now I'm feeling some type of way. I'm mad because, like, what's up? Every time I see you don't speaking to me no more, like, I'm like, good morning. Like, he'll throw his hand up, hey, how you doing? Like, very formal. And I'm just like, so now I done ran out of cigarettes. I ain't got cigarettes no more. I ain't got perfume. So now I'm tearing little perfume samples out the magazines and shit just so I can smell good. Like, I'm going downhill now. Like, I'm mad because, like, I'm that girl on the compound. Like, I got perfume. I'm always smelling good. Like, I got cigarettes. People asking me for cigarettes. Like, they got the money on deck and I ain't got nothing to get them. Like, I'm mad now. So eventually that whole facade just blew over and I moved along. I was the book lady. When I say book lady, I always read books. My cousin, she ordered me lots and lots of books. Like, I kept all the new books, all the good series that everybody wanted to read, I had. So, I used to rent my books out. You want to borrow my book? Because everybody like, oh, the new book, the Ethics series. The Ethics series was the shit. Everybody wanted to read that. So they like, oh, the Ethics series came out. Sierra got the book. I'm always on the call out for a book. So they like, Sierra got all the books. I had even some of the officers that like to read, they was even borrowing books. So I would charge to rent my book size. It's $5. And you get to hold it for a week. If you ain't read it in a week, then hey, I need my book back. So I end up renting it out to somebody and they end up spilling something in the book or either tore a page, something like that. So basically when they gave it back, they was just trying to apologize about, damaging the book. So as they're apologizing, I'm just like, okay, that's gonna cost you. Like, I need you to replace my book. So like I said, I'ma always have me a hustle. Well, some of the girls in there, the Caucasian girls especially, they had sugar daddies. And so I would see them like getting lots of money on their books from the sugar daddies. And I'm just like, I want me a sugar daddy. What's tea? So I asked one of the girls about like, hey, how y'all got sugar daddies? Like, how y'all met them or whatever. They know y'all in prison. They like, yeah, it's a website. So I get the information and I call at this time my favorite cousin. Like, she was there for me. When I tell you, this girl like was my ride or die. Like, anything I needed, money on my books, money on the phone, ordering me books, whatever. She was there. Like, that's my girl. She really did all my time with me and I'm forever grateful for her. Like, I love her so, so, so dearly because she didn't have to do that time with me, but she did that time with me. Anyways, moving forward, I gave her the website. I was like, girl, this the website. Like, sign me up. Like, get me a sugar daddy. So she gets on the website. She like, oh, okay, well, it costs such and such. I pay for it, but they want pictures of you. So I'm like, oh my God, like, I got to put my picture on there? So she like, yeah, girl, you got to put 2 pictures on there. So I'm like, okay, well, go on my Facebook and pick 2 pictures. Pick my best pictures or whatever. So she put 2 pictures on there of me. When I tell you, within that first day, I had messages like, I was kind of like, wait a minute, like, I didn't understand why would men on the outside want to be a pen pal sugar daddy to somebody that's in prison. So at this point, I get 2 of them. I pick 2 of them or whatever, and I just see who the best one. So they put money on their phone. They added me on JPay. So now I got 2 sugar daddies, a Caucasian and a black. So they put money on their phone. They had added me on JPay where they could write me, text me basically or whatever. So they started asking like, well, okay, the first one, I was talking to him more, which was the black one. I started talking to him more. He started asking like, oh, can you send me pictures? Um, he basically said like he wanted to be with me, outside of prison, asking can he fill out a visitation form to come see me, yada yada yada. So me being me, like, no, like I'm doing this for fun to pass time and to get your coin. Like, so I'm like, I'm restricted from visitation. I can't have visitation. So that was that on that. As far as sending pictures, of course I would get on the kiosk or whatever and take a little picture with my tablet or whatever and send it to him so I can get the coin. I was telling them whatever they wanted to hear for me to get that money. So he just basically like he was just getting too invested. Like he really like started liking me for real. And it was kind of weird because I'm just like, sir, you don't even know me. Like I'm in prison. Like what do you want with an inmate? This particular one, he started like wanting me to like meet his kid. He would put his kid on the phone, saying like, "This your new stepmommy." Um, he would send me pictures of him and his kid. He even was talking about like wanting to marry me, and I'm just like, oh my God, like his money wasn't even that good for me to be like playing along with it, because he was the type to kind of like send 75 one week, 100 the next week. Like he wasn't like sending big money. So I eventually like faded off from him because I was just like, he ain't really got no money like that, and your conversation starting to bore me. So the Caucasian one, now that's the one. Oh, that was the one who was sending the money for real. So he was sending me like 500 at a time. Like mind you, we can only spend $100 every week. $100 once a week. So my book's loaded because he's constantly sending like 500 this week, 400 this week, 500. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, I end up started cutting checks home. So now my mama, like her antennas raised, like, where's this money coming from? Because now she thinking I'm doing something illegal. She like, you better not be doing anything in there illegal, sending me this money. So I'm like, girl, pipe down. It's not illegal. My sugar daddy sending me this, and basically I'm cutting the checks home so I can have money for when I come home. So now they bring me in the office for questioning. Like they checking my JPay messages, trying to figure out, why the man sending me money. Now I feel like they listening to my phone calls because I can kind of hear when they hear like listening in on your phone calls. It's kind of like a beep noise. So now they listen to my phone calls. So I'm just like, oh my God, like they instead of fucking with me, y'all. When I tell y'all, even though my story may sound like, oh, she was living her life in prison, I kind of my life was still hard in there because they made it so hard because they was hating so bad on me, the officers, the upper people. Like they really made my time so hard because they always fuck with me. So anyways, they was asking like, hey, why are you getting this kind of money sent in or whatever? You only can spend $100, so what's going on? So I was basically telling them like, that's my boyfriend. He's sending me, money. He want to make sure I'm straight. He just stacking my books up. So basically they had to put a cut on my account, basically where he wasn't able to send in no more money. But again, there's ways around everything. So all I did was get somebody that I trust, a girl that really kind of like, she didn't really get much money, but she got money. The same girl that will hold my stuff in her locker. So I got her information or whatever, and basically I told her like, okay, he's sending 500, I'm gonna give you 100. So she kept it solid or whatever. I was able to put money on her books. Well, he was able to put money on her books or whatever, and I was able to still have her cut checks to my mama. I honestly think that I'm maybe like part of the reason why they got the system how they got it now. So how it is now in DLC, you can no longer send money to anybody that's not on your visitation list. You can't cut money home if they're not on visitation. So anyway, so they ain't stopped nothing. I was still getting money, but now this man want to come see me. So of course they basically like, hey, we giving you my money, our money. We want to see you. So I'm just like, oh my god. So what I'm gonna tell him? I end up telling him the same thing. My visitation suspended. I can't get visitation because I don't want to see y'all. Hey, you can visit me on the kiosk. Like we can do a video visitation. So that's what we would do. We would start our video visitation, and he was so in love. Like it was just creepy, but I still did what I had to do to get my coin. So moving back a little bit, y'all know my mama had called Tallahassee about me being under investigation when I was in law. So during that time when she did that, she also asked for to speak to upper people or whatever. So um I can get out the kitchen. So they finally removed me out the kitchen, and at this point, I'm thinking that they removed me out the kitchen for good now because I was out of the kitchen for a good 2 months, and I became a houseman, like where I work in a dorm and clean up or whatever. So now I got people that work in the kitchen that I know that I'm cool with. But now I gotta buy my stuff out of the kitchen now. Now I ain't selling nothing on the compound, but I don't care because I got a sugar daddy that's making sure I'm straight. So I don't need to steal out the kitchen. And I got good money now, so I'm like, hey, like let me get an onion, let me get blah blah blah. So mind y'all, I buy an onion and I think 2 onions and a stick of butter from one of the girls on PM shift. Child, she had done gave me the 2 onions and the butter, right? That same day, she ended up going to law. Now, y'all, I know the rules in prison. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to pay regardless. But you ain't finna get nothing out my locker. You write me a list and I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to get what you want. But you're not finna take out of my locker. So she's in lock for about 60 days. I'm thinking that she done got shipped from the compound because I never seen her. Like I'm asking people like, wait, blah, blah, blah. Y'all, anybody seen such and such? And they like, nah, I think she got shipped. So everybody kind of telling me she got shipped. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? So that's her loss. You done got shipped. Come to find out, she didn't get shit. She just had a long time in law. So when she finally get out of law, she comes to me basically like, hey, where my stuff at? So I'm like, okay, no problem. Like, just write me a list and I'ma go to the store tomorrow to get it. She tells me, I ain't waiting to know tomorrow. I want my shit today. Like, what's in your locker? So I'm like, it don't matter what's in my locker because whatever in my locker, mine. Like, you're not getting anything out of my locker. I will go to the store and get what you want. So she basically like running down on me like she ain't waiting till tomorrow. So I'm telling her you ain't got no choice but to wait till tomorrow because you ain't getting out of prison. Out of lock thinking you finna run down on some shit when you did 60 days. Basically, I'm thinking you gone. But it's really your loss. Like you went to law and then get your shit before you went to law. So I'm being courteous enough to still like say I'm gonna pay my debt. Child, she was not letting it go or whatever. They end up moving her in the same dorm where I was. So when she come moving her shit in the dorm, she comes like, "Hey, you got my stuff," and I'm like, "I just saw you earlier. Like it's the same thing. Like I'm gonna go to the store tomorrow as soon as you give me your list, but you're not getting nothing out my locker." So she going around the dorm telling other people like, "Hey, Sierra owe me, and she ain't trying to pay me." So I hear like little chit chat going around the dorm, and I'm just like, "That's fucked up," because anybody know me, like I'm gonna pay my shit. Like I ain't gonna never owe nobody. So that was like really bothering me. But then I hear her sitting at the kiosk with another girl, basically like plotting on like she gonna fight me. So now I'm just like, what? Like this bitch gonna fight me over an onion?
Not fight the girl over an onion. Hey, the one thing that I will say about this girl is that she's a hustler. She's a hustler, bro. You feel me? She definitely is a hustler. She was willing to take the goddamn pregnancy. Like the mama had to tell her, like, "Hey, if you gonna lie to me, goddamn, I can't fuck with you." You know what I'm saying? But she been doing fraud for years. She been finessing for years. So she been finessing, man. She know how to adapt. That's what I will. She know how to make some money. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I fuck with her hustle for sure, for sure. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up what she was doing to my boy, her boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? That was fucked up. My boy was holding you down. You know what I'm talking about? Well, in the beginning, that she say he was holding her down. You know what I'm saying? And she got 2 sugar daddies. This girl know how to get some money, y'all. This fucking girl know how to get some fucking money. I don't know where the fuck she learned that shit from, but this girl know how to get some goddamn money.
So, like I was telling y'all in the last part, the girl wanted to fight me by the 2 onions and the butter because she went to lock for 60 days and I thought she left the compound. And I just straight up told her that you wasn't getting nothing at my locker. I will go to the store and get what you want, but I'm not giving you nothing at my locker. And that's just what it was. She talked her shit and kept going on and on for the whole day. You know, we didn't end up doing anything. The next day, I hadn't seen her or whatever. She ended up going back to work in the kitchen. Mind you, I'm out of the kitchen right now, so I'm in the dorm all day. She waited until I got in the shower. Child, I'm in the shower, butt booty naked, washing myself. You know, you get in the shower with shower slides. So she waits till I'm in the shower. This lady come in the shower. Mind y'all, she was a little stud, but that didn't matter. But anyway, she waits till I get in the shower, child, and she coming in like, yo, what's up? Like, put her sit up, what's up? So I'm like, oh Lord, I'm finna have to fight naked. When I tell you this lady hit me in my shit so hard, oh, I'm fire hot now, cause we in there tussling. Like, I'm slipping and slide. She got on her sneakers in there. Cause mind you, she prepared. Like, she came to fight. I'm in there showering. I got my head down when she first came in there. And I'm washing my face or whatever. So my face is down. And she came in there and was just like, what's up? So we slipping and sliding because I got on slides, on shower slides. Oh my God. When I tell you the bitch got the best of me. She got the best of me. I ain't even gonna sit here and hold you. She got the best of me. So now you got people coming in the shower, breaking it up. Like, y'all stop. The people coming, police coming. Oh no, I'm mad as fuck now because first of all, you caught me while I was slipping. Like, you caught me while my head was down. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could have just, you know, shot that shit fair. Like, when I got out the shower, or we could have went in the shower when I was done. I could have put on my sneakers so I can keep my balance so I can fight you right. So, end up getting broke up or whatever. And, you know, we got the shower or whatever. Like, everything was cool. We went back to our bunks because the police had them came in there. It was count time. Baby, after count, oh, it was on. It was on. I ain't give a no fucks. The whole time while I'm waiting to count finish, I'm sitting on my bed like I'm shaking, like my nerves so bad I'm shaking. I'm mad as fuck. My adrenaline pumping. Like, I got that motherfucking lock. I put it in the sock. I was turning it around because I was ready. I was so mad. I was ready. Soon as I heard count clear, I got up. I had my sneakers on, laced up. I went and knocked on her bone. Hey, what's up? Come on. Meet me back in the shower. She like, I ain't meet you back in the shower. Meet me back in the shower. We gonna fight right here and right now. Meet me back in the shower. So she like, oh, okay, pussy asshole. You want another round? Like, bitch, you ain't just beat me up now. Nah, let's be clear. You didn't just beat me up. But okay, so we goes back in the shower. I beat the dog shit out of her ass. When I tell you, snot nose, bitch, blood coming out her motherfucking eye vessel. I was beating the shit out of her with that motherfucking law. Hold on, don't ever try me like that. About 2 onions in a butter. So it was so bad, we definitely went to lock. Like, people came in there trying to break it up again, but by then, officers came and they took us to lock. Now, I was embarrassed because when they came to take us to lock, the man that I used to talk to, the lieutenant now, he comes down there, he asking like, what's going on, why y'all was fighting or whatever. People telling them that we fighting about an onion and some butter out the kitchen. Oh my God, how embarrassing. So he want to look all disappointed and like, I'm so disappointed in you, Sierra. Like, y'all fighting over butter and onions. It definitely wasn't about no butter and onions. First of all, she ran up on me first. And second of all, it was about my respect. You think that she finna run up on me, get the best of me, and I don't fight back? Are you serious? Yeah, okay. So now we go to lock. When we first go to lock, you know, when you first go to lock, you don't even know how long you finna be in there. You got to go to sentencing hearing. So I was in there for like 3 days, and I went to sentencing hearing or whatever. People, they must be was asking what happened or whatever, because
when I went to see the officer for the hearing, they basically had done told the officer, well, the officer told me that they heard that the girl had ran up on me first or whatever, and I was basically protecting myself. But being that I didn't call our officer and wave my hand like I was really gonna do that, I still had to do some time. So they only gave me 30 days. She had got another 60 days. I think she ended up getting shipped from the compound because I never seen her after that when we got out of lock. Well, when I got out of lock. So during these 30 days, I'm just like, oh, not again, y'all. When I tell y'all, lock is so depressing because, again, you don't come out the dorm. Like, you don't come out of that cell. You in the cell by yourself for 23 hours a day, locked down. You come out one time a day for 1 hour. You get to see, people that walk the compound, but you can't say shit, and they better not say nothing to you because they getting in trouble then. And then you can get some extra days in there. So all you can do is look like a caged animal. So, of course, like I said, we only use the phone in there one time a week. If I'm calling anybody, I'm calling either my cousin or I'm calling my mama. Now, the sugar daddy, they had to end up telling me, the people, like some of the officers will come down and be like, hey, you need to call such and such because they're calling up here worried about you. Why is this man calling up the prison? Because he haven't heard from me. He haven't heard from me on the tablet, nor have I called him on the phone. So he calling the prison, basically asking them, hey, what's going on with Sierra? Is she okay? I haven't heard from her. This man really thought I belonged to him or something, because I'm just like, why would you even be calling like these prisons or these people asking about me? Like they literally telling me your boyfriend calling. They say his name, but then they say, oh, your boyfriend wanting to know, like, were you okay? So just give him a call and let him know that you're in confinement. We told him you're in confinement. He's freaking out. He want to know what happened, what you did. So please give him a call. Ain't no need for you to be calling and worry about me, sir. Just still send the funds. During the time though, while I was in lock, he did not send no money or whatever to the girl, and I'm glad he didn't, because of course, remember, he was sending it to another person's account. So being that I did trust her while I was out, but being that I was locked up in confinement and I wasn't on the compound, I didn't trust that shit. So I was happy that he really did not send the money to her account. That was smart of him. So the whole time I'm in confinement, I just started reading more books. I started making me a little calendar, marking down the days. I just was like, praying, getting a little more closer to God, just trying to get my shit together, really, because I'm just like, you know what? You keep fucking up. Like, you already in prison. Get your shit together, Sierra. Like, just get it together. So when I did get out, I was still on the way. Mind y'all, I had been signed up for CDL class. They have all kinds of trades in prison. So I had been signed up for the CDL class and I was on a waiting list. I got out of confinement, and probably like a week later I was on a call out list for CDL. Nobody but God. So the CDL program was about, I want to say, like 8 months. I was only in the CDL program for probably like 3 months. No, I was in there for about 4 months because I was close, like, finishing. So I was in there for about 4 months and I really liked it. And I was like, oh, that's something I think about, really doing or using when I get home. I'm in the dorm with another girl named Sierra, and we was cool or whatever. We hung out a lot. But this particular Sierra, she did drugs. I don't do drugs. Never did drugs in no prison. Now, that's where I draw the line at. I don't do no drugs. Oh my God. So they was doing like this little drug call out. Well, apparently, see, the other Sierra done made the white girl mad, and she went and tried to rat her out. And without them checking first, they done called me down there thinking she's talking about me and trying to drug test me. Now, mind y'all, they drug test me. And the shit come back positive. I'm like, I know you motherfucking lying because I don't do no drugs. I'm going off. Like, going off. So being that I come back positive, here you go. I got to go back to lock until they figure out what's going on, get me another test or whatever. So I'm in lock another 10 days before I get let out because they made a mistake. Hey y'all, part 13 of Surviving Prison. So I left off telling y'all where I went to lock because I tested positive. I don't even remember what they tested me for, to be honest, but I tested positive and the test was wrong. I requested another test because I'm like, I don't do drugs. Like, y'all got the wrong person, for one, and for two, I don't do drugs, so y'all need to get another test. Well, they ordered another test, but I had to go to lock and sit in lock and wait until the test come and for them to test me. So I sat in there 10 days. The 10th day, that's when they came and retested me. And like I told y'all before, I feel like they used to love to fuck with me. So that's why they make me sit there that long, because ain't no way that the test take that long. Stop playing with me. But it was cool. I didn't get out of character. I ain't act up, even though I was very, very pissed. Like, I was so mad because it's like, I know you, when you know you ain't did nothing and then somebody fucking with you and then put you in lock, you like, what the fuck? That's like you going to jail for nothing. Child, they came back with another test. They kind of found out that the test was, in fact, defective. So they ain't even apologize or nothing. They were just like, oh, okay, Miss Washington, you're finna get ready to get out today. So I'm like, I know that because I knew I wasn't doing drugs. So anyways, on the 10th day, they let me out. I could not go back to CDL class. I was so mad because I waited so long to even get accepted in the class, in the program. And even though it wasn't my fault, even though, you know, I didn't do drugs, the class was full and they was just basically saying like I had to wait again. I didn't even sign up again because it was just like I didn't have enough time to even finish the program. Like, at this point, I probably had like, I want to say like 22 months left. So at 20 months, you can sign for work release. So within 2 months, I ended up signing up for financial literacy and small business class, which I end up loving small business class. They really helped me write a business plan. And when I came home, I started my business. It's called A Taste of Seafood. So it's a catering business, but they helped me like come up with a business plan, and it was just. So they do have a lot of classes that you can take, a lot of trades. I will say, if you do not have a GED or a high school diploma, you can't participate in any of those classes. You have to go to school. It's mandatory that you go to school because they're going to make you get your GED. So just letting you know. So while I was still in the business class, I was back in the regular dorm. They did not put me back in the kitchen. Thank God. I was so excited about that because I just knew they was going to put me back in the kitchen when I got out of lock, but they did. But I did go back to Alpha dorm, which I was so mad because I actually signed up for the faith base again. Now, the lady laughing because she like, Miss Washington, you hated the program when you were in here. Why do you want to come back? And I'm just like, I had a change of heart. I really didn't want to leave when I got put out. I wanted to stay. And, you know, I had done got heavy in my word. I had done just got closer back to God. So I was just like, want to be like in that program, in that dorm. I didn't want to be around all the drugs, the sex, the cigarettes. I had already been in enough shit. Like, it was like time for me to get my shit together because, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to come back. I don't want to come out of prison the same person that I came in. So I did sign up to go, but I never was accepted to go back into a faith base, which I was so mad about that too. So I'm in Alpha dorm. You know, I'm still, you know, I know everybody because I done been in this dorm before. Both Alpha dorms, I done been in there before, so I know everybody. Child, let me tell y'all about, and I don't mean to offend nobody when I say this, but this big old school dyke called herself liking me. What? Like, you do not like me, ma'am, or sir, or whoever. I was back in the dorm for a week. Child, this lady done came over to my bed, done put some snacks on my bed, and a little note saying basically Valentine's Day coming up, would I be her Valentine's? Man, listen, I can't make this shit up, y'all. I'm so serious. So, I could not figure out who put that on my bed. I'm asking everybody, y'all see who put this on my bed? Because, like, I don't play that shit. I'm not gay. Nothing against nobody who's gay. That's y'all preference. Cool. But don't come over here with that shit. And everybody kind of knew that. Like, I would, you know, sometimes, you know, look out for some people. If they want to go do, they do, or whatever, in the shower, whatever they want to do. If I was cool with you, yeah, I make sure that you don't get caught by the officer. But for you to have the audacity to come to my bed and put that shit on my bed and think that I'm finna fuck with you, like, stop playing, because you finna go to lock at this point. And I ain't no police ass girl, but I'm about to put the police on you. Don't play with me. So I ended up figuring out who did it. Somebody told me, like, oh, granddaddy. And they call her granddaddy. That's the thing. So it was like, oh, granddaddy put it on your bed. I'm just like, granddaddy? Now, she's new in this dorm. She's been on the compound for a while, but she's new in this dorm. Granddaddy, let me take your stuff back because I don't play that. So I politely got a little bag or whatever, a little small little clear trash bag, put out. I mean, it was all kinds of shit on there. Skittles, honey buns, powder donuts, chips, noodles, summer sausage. It was so much stuff on there. Like a good order, like probably about $30 worth of shit. So I was like, hey, they say they call you granddaddy, and she was like, hey baby, what's up? I was like, I'm just letting you know I don't go that way, and I just didn't want to accept this. I'm sorry, I couldn't accept this. And so she was like, oh, okay, why you can't accept? And I'm saying, I don't like females. Oh baby, I ain't. Her voice got the, oh baby, I ain't no female. I'm a straight man up in here. No baby, this is a women's prison. You are a woman, and your name is Vivian something. But yes, like, ma'am, you're not a granddaddy, you're a woman, and I don't want to accept this. She didn't get upset. Like, she did feel some type of way, but she wasn't like mad where she was just like, oh, fuck you then. You know how niggas is on the streets right now. You know, you don't want to talk to them. They be like, oh, fuck you then, you know, pussy ass, oh, blah, blah, blah. So yeah. But she still, like, but when it came to Valentine's Day, she still got me a Valentine's Day card. They used to make baskets. Like, they're so creative in there. When I tell you, it's so much talent in prison, they very creative. Outfits, baskets, they was getting their girlfriends all kinds of stuff made. And might I add, the girly girls was taking care of the studs in there, and I just could not believe it. I thought the studs was the men, so I'm thinking that the men do the most, you know, like they take care of their woman. Child, the girls was in there taking care of them studs. They ain't play about they stud, you hear me? So anyways, I'm out of lock, and I ended up calling the sugar daddy, letting him know, hey, I'm out of lock. Oh my God, that man went crazy. What happened to you, baby? Like, I was so worried. I'm just like, you know, they drug test me. It came back positive, but they had the wrong person, and their test was defective, so they let me out. He was just like, oh, I'm getting ready to call Tallahassee, because mind y'all, I didn't even tell my mama, like, at this point, because I know my mama's sick of me. So I didn't even tell her that, hey, I'm in lock. She just ain't hear from me in them 10 days. I did write her on my JPay on the tablet, and just made it seem like everything was just everything. You know what I'm saying? I was taking a break from the phone. But that sugar daddy went crazy. Mind y'all, he ended up putting in an application to come see me anyways after I told him that my visitation was blocked. So when I talked to him and told him I was out of lock or whatever, he said he was worried. He told me, hey, my application got approved. I want to come see you. So I'm like, your application got approved, because I'm lost right now. They hadn't called me to the bubble and gave me the approval paper yet, because I had just got out of lock. When that man said that, I was just like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? Because I don't want him popping up to this prison. So I was just lying. When he said that he want to come see me, I told him I'd let him know what date to come, because my mama them be coming, and you can't have too many visitors at once. And if y'all don't come together, then you can't come in. And I don't want you to waste your time and your, you know, gas to come all the way over here. He was just like, it seems like you don't want to see me. You just want my money. I really love you, and I enjoy speaking to you on the phone, but I'm just over the phone thing. I just want to talk to you in person, baby. And I'm just like, oh my God, no. Part 14 of Surviving Prison. So at this point, I'm just like, what am I going to do? Because I don't want this man coming up to this prison to see me. I don't want to see you at all. But I don't want to get rid of his money neither. Like, I want the funds to still be funding. You got me? So it kind of died down for a bit. He had asked me again, and I told him, like, hey, my mama and my sister's coming this weekend, but I'm going to let you know. Y'all, I was so happy because COVID came. At this point, you only can visit me on a kiosk. Like, you can't come up here. So it worked in my favor. Like, you can't come up here. You only can visit me in the kiosk. And I had a video visit with him on the kiosk. It seemed like every 2 days. But I didn't mind, because it was just like, okay, this video chat. FaceTime, actually. So I didn't care. So fast forward a little bit. My birthday coming up. And I was getting ready to turn 30. So a lot of people got together and they threw me a dirty 30 birthday party. When I tell y'all, even the officers was in on it. It was like the cool officers that, you know, that fuck with me. Because, you know, they really didn't like me. But the officers that fuck with me, when I tell y'all, I ain't even gonna hold you. That was a really, really great birthday. I was sad because I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm turning 30 in here. And I was really sad. Child, they had made me a cake. They had food. They had a cooler full of drink, like Hunch Punch. Mind y'all, one of the girls that I was cool with, she ended up getting cool with an officer too, with a female officer. And the female officer was looking out for her. Them officers there was a trip. But yeah, she ended up bringing some liquor, and they made me a cooler full of Hunch Punch. Hunch Punch, food, cake. They made banners. Some of the girls had like made little outfits, so it was like a foam party. They went in the shower and had foam everywhere, had their little outfits, came out dancing. Like, that was a real party. I could not believe it. Like, I would never forget it.
The party kind of paused during count time because during my master roster count, everything must cease. Like, you got to be on your bunk. They don't play no talking. They don't play. Like, master roster is important. That's when you present your ID badge, say your DC number, and wait until it clear, because they want to make sure anybody escaped, nobody ain't in another dorm that they don't supposed to be in. So you got to say your last name and your DC number every time it's time for master roster count. So after master roster cleared, there was like 10, 15 or whatever, and of course somebody had to hate the people that didn't get invited, because of course I don't mess with everybody. So if you don't really mess with me and I don't mess with you, why would you even want to get an invite to the party? So it was a couple people that was salty because they didn't get an invite. But the food that was made, that was left over, I did try to, say, hey, if anybody wants some food, y'all free to it. But y'all just wasn't invited to, like, the festivities, the games, the music, like, the cake and stuff like that. Child, it was somebody went up there to the bubble telling people, they can't sleep, they about to write a grievance. Then officer was like, it's gonna be like 30 more minutes or whatever. The officer didn't want to get rolled up, even though she was trying to be like, hey, 30 more minutes, y'all, 30 more minutes. The girl kept saying, I'm finna write a grievance, because she hated me so bad. So the party ended, but when I tell y'all that was the best 30th birthday I could have asked for in a prison, like, it was so sweet. So a month later, I was on a call out for work release. Like, oh my God, I was so excited. Like, I didn't go to work release within a month, but I was on a call out to go sign for work release. So you get to sign when you're like 19 months or so. 18, something like that. But I was able to sign for work release. So you get to choose 3 facilities that you want to go to. I'm from Jacksonville. So, of course, my first choice was Orlando, because that was the closest one to my house. I chose Orlando, Tampa, and then I think Miami. Miami was last because I didn't want to go too far. It wasn't one in Jacksonville, which I was so mad, because I'm just like, damn, like, that'll really be sweet if I be able to go to work release in Jacksonville. But they didn't have one. They got men, but not women. So, fast forward a little bit, they knocked on my bunk. I had already cleaned up my locker, because I don't know, something in my spirit kept saying, how you finna leave this week, you gonna leave this week. And so you don't really want to take nothing with you that you have in prison to work release, because mind you, you're going to the free world. So that's what we say, the free world. You going to the free world, you finna have all this stuff, leave it to somebody who might need it. So I left it to the other girl, Sierra, that got me kind of cased up with her mess. I left it to her, this girl named Faith, and a couple other people. When I tell you, when they knocked on my bunk to leave to go to work release, them girls got up, and baby, they was ready to bombard their locker, because they already knew, like, I had 2 lockers full of shit. But back to the sugar daddy, y'all. The sugar daddy ain't play. When it was time for me to go to work release, baby, he had everything ready. He had to get my phone, clothes, shoes, hygiene, like everything. He had everything. My mama ain't have to do nothing. My last year in prison, my mama didn't send me no money. I didn't want her to send me money. I was sending money home. So everything was good with the sugar daddy. So he thinking that, oh, you want to work release, so he really finna try to come see me. Now, mind y'all, he was from like Texas or something, somewhere in Texas. I can't remember exactly where, but he was from Texas. So I'm in Florida. He was ready to catch his flight, because he like, oh, which work release you going to? Mind you, everything is public records. When you in prison, whenever you move, whatever prison you go to, it's public records. So I didn't really want to lie, because I already knew he was going to look me up. So I had to end up going to Tampa, my second choice. I wanted to go to Orlando, but Orlando was actually getting shut down. So pissed. So I'm like, I'm going to Tampa or whatever. He was like, oh, when can you have visitation? I was just like, I don't know. I mean, I got to go to orientation. I got to get there first. I don't know when I will have visitation. So he was like, the first time you have visitation, please let me know. I'm going to be on the first flight or whatever. So I'm just like, yeah. But hey, did you do this? Do you do that? Did you do that? You know what I'm saying? Making sure he got all my shit in order. But that man said, hey, you don't got to worry about that. Your box has been ready. So all I need is the address is to where I got to ship it to. I'm just like, address? Like, oh my God. Like, ugh. He just want to come see me. But anyways, he ended up shipping it. So when you get ready to go to work release, you have to go back through the reception center, FWRC.
That's where I was at the first time when I first got sent to prison before I got to my regular camp. You have to go there for like a week before you go to your other camp. So when I get there, child, I'm just like, oh my God, because I hated that place. Like, that was the worst part of prison. But it wasn't that bad when I got back because I already knew the ropes. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know the ropes when I first got there. So it was okay. When I tell you, when I got there, people was bombarding me like, hey, what you got for sale? You got soap, you got conditioner, you got shampoo, what you got? Like, I'm like, hold it, selector. But no, I didn't have anything for sale because I had already done gave all my stuff away. And I didn't even know. I was so mad because had I known that I had to go back through that, I would have kept my stuff, or some of it at least, because I had to stay there for a week. So, child, I'm there for a week. Now, mind you, when you go to work release, your account freezes. Like, you can't spend none of your money. Y'all, I'm there. Got to eat this prison food. Ain't got no kind of, like, I got hygiene, but not enough where it's going to last me for a week. So, I'm over there barring stuff. Now, I got to get the girl number, her prison number, because I got to have the sugar daddy put some money on her account because I need stuff for this week. Of course, anything I said, he did, so it wasn't a problem. He did put like I think he put like $150 on her books. I gave the girl $50, and I got $100 worth of stuff. Couldn't even take the $100 worth of stuff with me, but I still did it because I just wanted it. Child, now I ain't gambled the whole prison sentence. I get over there and start gambling, playing spades. When I tell you, here it go, I'm like, I ain't fucking up my work release. Like, they ain't finna send me back to prison. The girl lose spades, child. And she ready to fight. I'm like, this a game. Like, it's a game, but I guess when you playing for money, they get serious. I ain't had no business gambling anyways, because why are you gambling, girl? You finna go to work release. Like, leave this prison shit alone. Oh, my God. Now she wanna fight me. Child, when I tell y'all, she probably thought I was scary, but I ain't give a fuck if she thought I was scary or not, because I was not messing up my work release. I was not getting sent back to prison. I was like, baby, ain't that serious? Like, what you want? You can have this, you can have that. Like, what you want? Because, mind you, I'm not going back to prison. So I was just like, you can have it all, baby. I ain't trying to fight you. You got it, you got it. I was mad inside. I was boiling inside because, bitch, I'm not scary, but I'm going to be scared today because I'm not going back to prison. Part 15 of surviving prison. So this video is not going to be long at all. I'm just going to give y'all a little bit more insight. I'm getting ready to go wash my hair and get ready for bed. So I was at FWRC, the reception center, when you first come in. I had done played spades, beat the girl ass about 2 times or whatever. And she was upset and a sore loser. Ready to fight because she ain't really want to pay her coins. So I'm just like, hey, you ain't got to pay me nothing. Actually, you can have this, you can have that. Like, you can have my shit because I'm not trying to get in no fight, y'all. Like, I really want to go to work release. Like, I've been waiting for a long time. My scene is coming to an end. At this point, I got like 17 months. No, I didn't even have 17. I think I had like 15 months left, actually. So, I'm getting ready to go to work release. You can have this shit. So she was like, oh, I don't want your shit. I don't want your shit. But you try me. You cheating. Cheating? How I'm cheating? Because I beat your ass. I'm cheating. I beat your ass twice. And I cheated both times. Might I add, child, when people know you getting ready to go to work release or getting ready to get released, they start shit anyways. They be wanting to fight. They be wanting to, you know what I'm saying, get into it with you because they know, like, you finna get ready to go and that's gonna stop your time or you gonna have to stay. And she probably had some more time left or whatever, but I don't know because I didn't really get into her business like that. Y'all, I did have my sister look people up, though, because them people used to be lying about what they was in there for. But, yeah. So somebody came in and intercepted the confusion or whatever and had to kind of like, you know, broke it up like, hey, y'all don't do that. It's just a game or whatever. She offered to give you such and such. And she said you ain't got to pay her. So just, you know, let that shit die down. She's another dyke. So now you like, oh, okay, I'm cool. I'm straight or whatever. You don't want to fight. But now you trying to holler. Oh, my God. Like, how you want to try to fight me and then holler at me? Make it make sense. So at this point, I'm kind of like, damn, is she gonna want to fight me if I tell her, like, I ain't on that gay shit, like, I don't go that way? But I had to let her know. I had to shoot her down nicely. I was like, you straight. Now, y'all, I'm trying to be nice because this is not me. Like, I really want to, like, go in. But I'm, like, trying to go to work release. So I'm like, hey, you know, you straight or whatever. It was a misunderstanding or whatever. But I didn't cheat. You know, I'm being nice. Put my soft girl voice on and shit. But I'm just like, ugh. In the inside, I'm burning up again. But I told her, I was just like, I don't go that way or whatever. She was like, what way? What way you talking about? I'm like, I don't go that way. Like, I don't go with girls. She had the nerves to say, oh, could have fooled me. Look like you love to lick pussy. I said, I do. Oh my God. Does I look like that in person, or do my ID badge look like that? She said, nah, you look like you suck a mean clit. Oh my God, I was so offended. Like, I was really offended because, like, I've never done that. I would never try it. Like, so I was just like, I laughed it off and I was just like, no, I don't do that. She goes to say, well, it's the first time for everything. Shit, you know, some of these girls ain't never been gay, but I done turned a couple on mine. Oh my God. So I'm like, nah, I'm instead of saying nah, but I'm laughing too because, like, I really don't want her to, like, get upset, like, cause I can't lose my work release. But now I'm finna get mad because, like, bitch, stop trying me. I don't lick pussy. I never suck clit, none of that. Like, I don't do that. And I'm tired of saying it. So I was like, again, like, I was like, nah, watch out, man. Like, I don't do that for real. Like, I was like, I got an old man. Like, I don't do that. I was just like, I'm strictly dickly. She eventually left me alone or whatever. And she was just like, oh, okay. You know, she was like, you know, trying to be cool with me, like, friendly. But I don't even want to be friendly with you because I don't even want you to get the wrong idea and think that you can turn me out because it ain't that. Luckily, like, I'm counting down the days because I'm like, oh my God, I got like I had like 3 more days left. Like, oh my God, like, I got to get the fuck out of here. So that Wednesday came, I end up, you know, they knocking on my bunk, telling me to pack it up. I had nothing to pack up, baby. Like, I'm ready. I'm going with this, just this. I don't need nothing to pack up. Besides my paperwork, I don't have anything to pack up. I left the girls everything else I had that I hadn't got the canteen for that week and let that be it. I was so ready to get on that goddamn bus. So I ended up going to, like I said, Tampa. It was Clearwater. And it was a really big facility or whatever. I got there. We had to go through orientation. The first thing I wanted was my cell phone. I'm like, hey, did my box come? Like, the lady like, hey, pipe down, hold up. See, that's where y'all messed up. She was a mean lady, too. It was a mean old black lady that ran that work release or whatever. So she was like, that's where y'all messed up at. Y'all first get here, y'all thinking y'all finna use the phone. You gonna use the phone, but you ain't gonna use no cell phone. You gonna use the office phone to let your people know that you're here. That's it. I'm like, rare. Like, okay, calm down. But seriously, like, she was doing too much. So I ended up calling my mama. She was so excited. She was like, oh, you made it. I'm so happy. I looked on this website. It's saying you in transit, but it won't tell you where you at. Mind you, when you are moving, it doesn't tell you where you at. It say you in transit, but it don't say where because it's a breach of security if they say, like, where you, because, you know, your people can break you out or whatever. But I was at work release and I was so happy. So I finally had to made it, y'all. So I had to made it to work release. Yay. So yeah, like I said, I was in Tampa, Clearwater or whatever. So I was there for about a week and a half before I could leave the facility to go look for a job. Now, we had ankle monitors on. Oh my God, the worst. The ankle monitors was so huge. They were so big. I never had been on house arrest or nothing like that, so I'm scared. I'm like, oh my God, am I gonna be able to get in the shower with this shit on? Like, is it gonna electrocute me? Like, I was just so stupid and scared. But I was like, fuck that shit. Like, I'm on a free world. Like, I was excited. So you in a room with like 5 other people because it's like 6 to a room, each room. So once I got my paperwork done, signed up or whatever, my box hat done came. So I had my cell phone, cute little clothes or whatever, shoes, just makeup, free wear makeup, perfumes, just everything I asked for. The sugar daddy had it in there. So I'm getting ready to go on my first outing, which was the DMV. So it was a group of us that we had to go to the DMV. Now, mind you, when you're getting ready to go to stuff like this, like the DMV, if you're not going to work, if you're going to like something important like the Social Security office or DMV, something like that, you go in groups. And when you leave together, you come back together. So here go the first bullshit. We get to the DMV and it's like 5 of us. And one of the girls decide that she want to call her boyfriend or whoever the dude was that she was talking to up there or whatever to come pick her up. Already ready to get in some shit. So I mind my business. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? If she get picked up, that's her. But then the second thought I'm having, like, well, that lady said that we all got to come back together. So I hope she ain't finna leave. So I goes and ask her, I was like, hey, girl, you finna go? She was like, hell yeah. Like, we all should go. He got a truck. He'll be able to fit all us in there. Let's go. Shit, I'm trying to go smoke. Smoke? You trying to go smoke some weed? You on work release? knowing them people randomly drug test us, randomly alcohol test you. Like, why are you trying to get in trouble and you're just getting here? So I'm looking at this bitch like, girl, I'm not trying to fuck up my work release. I'm not trying to get sent back to prison. No, I'm good. And matter of fact, I'm trying to now, because I done changed my ways. I done changed my, how I move or whatever, because I don't want to go home the same person. And I know my mama is so tired of being disappointed in me. Hell, I'm tired of being disappointed in me. So I'm trying to tell her like, nah, I don't think that's smart of you. I think, do the right thing. Like, sis, you just got here. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you don't got that much time left. Like, just, hold out till you get home. Child, the first thing this girl, now mind you, she wasn't even at the same prison I was at, but she like, oh, I heard about you, child, do the right thing. Weren't you the same girl selling cigarettes on the compound where you was at? Oh, you the one to talk? I'm like, yeah, I did, but you know what I'm saying, I done changed my ways or whatever, and especially like, I done made it this far to work release. I don't want to fuck it up. I don't think you should fuck it up, but I'ma chill and let you do your thing. She like, thank you. So, of course, you got some bitches that do not have a mind of their own, follow the leader. So she got 2 girls to ride with her. Like, they literally got in the car and rode with the dude. So me and the other girl, we like, oh, hell no. Like, let's get back on the bus and get back to the center. We gets back to the center. The lady over the center like, hey, where the rest of the girls? I didn't want to snitch on nobody. I ain't say nothing. So I was just like, I have no idea. I think they were still at the DMV. Once me and her was done, we got on the bus and we left. And she like, they still at the DMV. I thought I told everybody to make sure they come back together. And I was like, well, they was out of sight. I didn't see them. So I didn't want to be late coming back because we were on the time frame. So I was like, I didn't want to be late coming back and get in trouble. So I just, once I was finished and she was finished and I didn't see the rest of them, I just came back. So I've ripped the lady like, oh, something don't seem right. Oh, something. I'm just like I said, I didn't see them. So I just came back. Mind you, these girls so fucking dumb. We are on an ankle monitor. So, therefore, you can be tracked. Duh. When I say they so dumb. So, she ended up pulling up the records or whatever, tracking them down or whatever. And no, she seen that they were moving. They were moving in a car because a bus, and I'll tell you, a bus ain't going 60 to 70 miles per hour. They just not doing that. So, your dumb ass should have told the dude, if you were going to sneak and do that, you should have told the dude to drive like 40 miles per hour like a city bus would do. Got me? Because mind y'all, we can't get in any kind of cars. Like, we can't get in no Uber, taxi, or nothing besides the city bus. You can't have nobody pick you up, none of that. Or you violate. And it was so crazy because I think I was like 31. Yeah, in my 31 years, I had never caught a city bus ever before. So I was just like, this is so weird. Like, but the same time, it was just like freedom. Like, I just felt so free. And when I was in that DMV, y'all, I was over there looking at people weird as fuck, like real humans. Like, I was just so happy. Like, the fact that I was locked up, I felt like I had been locked up for like 6-7 years. But I was just so happy to be free. Back to the girls. So they end up getting cased up or whatever. And when they brought their dumbasses back to the center, the lady was already standing there like, y'all might as well go ahead in y'all room. I already done called DLC to come pick y'all up. Y'all might as well go ahead and pack y'all shit up. So the girls like, oh, trying to plead their case or what happened or whatever. So I'm getting ready to go to the dinner hall to get ready to eat dinner. Now, I hear one of the girls over talking. Now, I keep saying, I think God is really testing me. Like, he keep putting me to the test to see if I'm going to pass. Because first, I almost didn't make it a work release because of the girl at FWRC about the spade game. Remember? Now, I overhear this girl while I'm eating saying, oh, I'm sure that pussy asshole Sierra told. She was over there trying to preach to a bitch talking about, oh, we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't do that. She probably can ran her ass right back in here and told. I mean, selling out bad, old fat bitch. Oh, I should. When I see that hoe, I'm going to knock that hoe on her motherfucking face. So I'm hearing this, but I'm just like, here go the shit. Like, people want to keep fucking trying me. Like, I ain't got too many more tries in me. Like, I just don't. But I know at the same time that it's God testing me. He want to see if I'm going to pass. And at this point, I'm praying and telling God, like, listen, God, you don't got to keep testing me. Because every time you test me, I'm going to pass with flying colors. So stop the test, okay? So another girl here or whatever, she like, hey, man, don't pay that shit no attention. You done made it this far. You in work release. You doing the right thing, man. Keep doing your thing. Don't worry about it. Them hoes finna go back to DLC anyways. Don't worry about it. But at this point, like, a bitch ain't finna sneak me again or none of that. So I'm just like, I'm getting on point. I'm just getting ready and like finna be on point, because I'm just like, this bitch talking about when she see me, what she gonna do? Like, and at this point, I really don't want it to happen, but I gotta be ready for whatever. But you know, it's always the loudest in the room be the scariest in the room. Child, I want to dump my little trash and whatever, and I walk right past the girl. Do you know the girl ain't say nothing like, pussy asshole, you told on us, or what's up? I mean, nothing. Silent. Nothing. So I'm like, okay, God, I see you. You put me to test. That was a test. I passed. Hey, y'all. This is part 17 of Surviving Prison. So, y'all, this point, I'm at work release. Excited. I done went to the DMV. I got my ID now. I'm eligible to go look for a job. So, being at work release, you kind of got to find a job quickly. Now, only job I'm used to working is like at like call centers. Well, I was like call centers and stuff like that. Customer service. So, mind you, that's where I'm at. That's the mindset I still got. Like, oh, let me go get, a customer service job. I done forgot all about that. I'm a felon now. Like, I'm a convicted felon, girl. You is not finna get no customer service job. Like, now, I ain't gonna lie. Certain customer service jobs will hire you. I know that now. But, like, when I was in work release, I was getting denied left and right. I got denied so much, too. I was there for, like, almost 3 weeks. And the lady at the center, the owner, she basically was like, hey, you got to find a job within a week or you get sent back. Because you only have, like, a month to find a job. I was like, oh, hell no. Like, I can't get sent back. So now at this point, I'm gonna work anywhere. I don't even care if I work at McDonald's at this point. So I ended up finding a job at Wingstop. Y'all, when I tell y'all, that was like, Wingstop was probably like Prudential Insurance, Allstate to me. Like, it was just something like I was cherishing at the moment. Like, I was so happy them people hired me. I didn't know what to do. When that lady told me I was hired, I was like, okay, when can I start? Child, she had done gave me my uniform, shirt, and everything. I haven't worked fast food since I was like 15 to 16 years old. Like, I couldn't believe that I was finna get ready to work at Wingstop. Child, when I started Wingstop, I was the best employee ever. Like, they probably knew I was in work release or something, because the way I was greeting them customers and just so happy to go toss them wings like that, baby. Like I ain't never had a job before. Okay. I was so happy to be able to leave that center. Y'all don't understand. So, the earliest you can leave the center is about 7 a.m. and the latest you can be back is 11:30 p.m. I tried to stay away from that center as much as I could. I ended up getting a second job. at a hotel. Child, I used to leave early in the morning, 7 a.m. and I used to come back at 11:30 p.m. So I would leave, go to the hotel from 7 to 3. After the hotel, I would leave at the hotel. I would get to Wingstop at maybe 3:30, 4, something like that to close, which is 11:30 for me. Child, I was hustling hard. Like, I was just so happy to be in the free world to, like, I had to get 2 jobs because I never want to be at the center. I was working. Now, I didn't work at the hotel that long. They ended up not firing me, but just letting me go because they had too many people. And so when they had too many people, they had to let the last person go, which was me. And plus, I didn't care for the job, but I did it because I was just like, I want to be away from the center. But being a housekeeper, that was not for me at all, okay? Hell, neither was the fast food, but it was better than being a housekeeper. At least I got to see more people, interact and stuff like that. I was meeting people. I met this guy that I'm still cool with or whatever. He was from Clearwater or whatever. I'm still cool with him now to this day. So I met some good people while I was working at Wingstop. So I would go to work every day, come back or whatever. I hated on my days off. Like, I was telling the people I want to work every day. They used to be like, well, you have to get some days off. We can't put you on the schedule every day. But I want to work every single day because I want to leave the center. Child, on the days that I was at the center, I just chilled around the center or whatever. But it was nothing to do. Like, a lot of people went to work. So it was like, it's kind of boring. But you still get visitation when you're in work release. You get visitation. People get to still send you money. And you get more money there than you did at the prison. So, y'all, this is when the sugar daddy, like, he kind of came in handy a little bit because you get furloughs. Now, you do have to be there at least 3 months before you can get your first furlough. Now, the sugar daddy had done signed up or whatever to be like my designated driver or whatever for this particular furlough. He did have to get approved and whatever. But, child, y'all think I was embarrassed for him to come to that prison. Child, when it came to work release, I wasn't embarrassed at all.
He signed that furlough, baby. We went shopping. He took me to the mall. We went out to eat. Like, you have like a certain amount of hours. Your first furlough is like 4.5 hours or so, and it progresses as, you know, as the months go by. So it's like 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. And you got to have your phone on you at all times. They got to have the person that's picking you up phone number, so they will call both phones, like, to see, actually make sure that you're at the place that you say you're going to be at. Child, you couldn't tell me nothing with that old white man, baby. I thought that was my man for real. Taking me shopping, we going out to eat, you know what I'm saying? Just living my regular life. Like, baby, you couldn't tell me nothing, okay? And honestly, you couldn't tell him nothing either. He really thought I was his lady. Like, he was like ready to show me off, like calling his like homeboys, I guess that's what you can call it, and was just like, hey, yeah, I'm with my girl, I'm getting ready to take her shopping and blah 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 blah. I didn't mind. I was so happy because spend your coin, yeah, do that. I'm your girl. So it wasn't until this one point where he wanted to marry me. Like, he thought I was gonna marry him. He wanted me to get out of prison and marry him. And when I told him no, like, I wasn't ready for marriage, he was like, what are we dating for then? I'm only dating for marriage. Like, if you're not ready to marry, then we're going to have to cut this off. So, like, I'm like, oh, my God, like, I don't want to cut it off. Like, the money was too good. He's spoiling me. You know what I'm saying? I need all this right now. But I'm not going to lie, I did have to end up ending things with him because he was getting way too serious. And I just felt like this was going to be some type of lifetime movie ending or something like that. And sometimes when you play with people too long, you end up getting hurt. And I didn't want him to, like, you know, really look me up because stuff be public records. And I didn't want him to look me up and end up finding out, like, when I did get out, I didn't want him to find out, like, my address or, you know, any of that, because I had already lied to him. I told him I was from Orlando. So I didn't want him to look me up and then, you know, try to come harm me or anything. So my greed had to just like suffer because I didn't want to get hurt. And at this point, I'm kind of like turning over a new leaf. Even though I love the money, even though I wanted his money and I love the shopping sprees and blah, 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 I still, you know, kind of felt bad. I was just like, oh my God, I'm really using this man. Like, okay, Sierra, enough is enough. But we ended things or whatever. He ended up, you know, not reaching out to me anymore. He didn't, you know, turn my cell phone off or anything like that. Because he couldn't turn the cell phone off because he actually purchased the cell phone. Like, he brought it all the way through. It wasn't on a contract or anything like that. So I was able to keep my phone. He ended up changing his number on me because, or something like that, because one day I needed some money. This was like 2 months after I stopped talking to him. I needed some money and I tried to call the phone and it was just like, dun, 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 the subscriber you have reached. I was like, oh, he changed his number on me. So he probably went back to the Prison Pal website or whatever and got him another little inmate mama or whatever. So at this point, y'all, I'm desperate. Why? I don't know, because I had money. Like, I was just being greedy. So I reached back out to the other sugar daddy and I let him know, like, hey, I'm in work release or whatever, you know, what can you send me? Wrong idea, because now he want to get back close, like, oh, I miss you, baby, or whatever, and still trying to send $75 and $100. Don't nickel and dime me, baby. I'm in the real world now. I need real money, real coins. Like, what's up? He couldn't send no real coin because he said he had a lot of shit going on. So I politely blocked him and did not speak to him again. The real tea is, once, you know, I had my phone or whatever, I used to be sneaking on social media while I was at work and stuff. So once I get on Facebook, y'all, Mr. Eggplant finds out that I'm in work release. Like, he see I'm on social media, so he like, reach out like, oh, what's up? Like, oh, you out? And I'm like, no, I'm in work release or whatever, what's up? And so he like, oh, like, hit me up, here's my number, blah, blah, blah. Child, I don't know why I hit that man up. I had no business talking to him because, mind y'all, he was married. So I had no business reaching back out. But I did. Part 18 of Surviving Prison. So like I said, I had no business hitting Eggplant up. But I did. Against my better judgment, I did. But the first thing I did when I hit him up, I'm like, what's up? Like, why you want to fuck with me now? I didn't hear from you my whole sentence. Like, what's up? You ain't add me on JPay. You ain't put no money on your phone. You didn't even send me $1. And now that I'm out, you want to fuck with me? Nah. So he like, oh, let me explain. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. Because you ain't saying nothing. For real. So he basically like, all that was a shock to him. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know
that I was scamming. He didn't know, what I was into. So he was just like, kind of confused. So I'm just like, you were confused. Okay, yeah, I didn't tell you what was going on. Cool. But you ain't tell me what the fuck was going on either. You didn't tell me that you were married. You told me you were single. You started living with me. Like, how were you married? I just want to know that. Like, please explain this marriage shit before we even go into why you wasn't there for me. I just need to know the marriage. Like, what was going on? He went into saying, I had them fell in love with you. I was scared to lose you. I knew that if I told you I was married, you wouldn't fuck with me, because we had a conversation before where I asked you, have you ever talked to a married man? You told me no, and that you would never talk to one. So I was scared to lose you. For me, that still didn't sit well with me. It wasn't valid enough for me. So then he goes into say, well, to be honest, we wasn't really together. We were separated. That's why I had to move down and got my own place. I got an apartment. The apartment that you was coming to, that's why I had moved to, because we were separated. But I still deserve to know that you were separated, that you were married, in the marriage, finna get ready to leave your marriage, whatever. I deserve to know that. Then he went on to say that once I had done left or whatever, she pressured him to get back into their marriage, for them to start over, blah, blah, blah. So that's why, he did try to make it work, being that I was gone and he didn't know what was going to be the outcome with me. I'm pretty sure you checked the website. You knew what was going on. You knew the outcome. I even wrote you a letter and you never responded to that. But what's killing me the most is you're trying to fuck with me now. Like, don't fuck with me when I'm free. When I needed you, you wasn't there for me. So basically, he just was begging me and was asking, like, what can he do to make it up? Y'all know me. Even though I wasn't into him, like, it ain't really nothing you gonna be able to do to make it up to me. But I ain't telling him that. I'm just like, well, we gonna see. I'm gonna see. I took a week or whatever to kind of like get back to him. But you know what you can do? Send the funds. So he ended up sending me a little couple coins or whatever. It wasn't that major. He wanted to come see me. Now, mind y'all, I didn't want him to come see me, because at this point, I wasn't fucking with him, but I knew that if I saw him, I didn't have enough self-control. And I didn't want to get sent back, because we probably would have fought. So I already knew, what was going on, because to be honest, now that I think about it, that relationship was all about sex. Like, it wasn't nothing, like, we wasn't compatible with nothing else besides sex. So, of course, I didn't allow him to come see me, because I wasn't trying to go down that road. Fast forward, moving along, work release going good or whatever. Christmas time coming up at this point. It's December. Now, my release date was February. It was supposed to be February. I did not get out February. So, just wanted y'all to clock that T. So, like I said, fast forward. I goes to work one day. It's around Christmas time. You know what I'm saying? I'm missing home, missing family or whatever. My cousin ended up coming in town, and she came to my job to see me. That is against the rules. I was going to say the law, but that's against the rules. So, what I was going to say? I'm sorry. So, she wasn't supposed to, but she did, and we ended up, she came up there to chill with me. We ended up drinking and stuff like that. And it was cool. She ended up leaving. Now, I had met another guy, that I told y'all earlier that, I met him at Wingstop. We still cool or whatever. We wasn't like that, like, oh, I want to fuck with you or nothing like that. He was just cool, platonic. He had done brought some Hennessy up there, whatever. We drinking. Having a good time, vibed out. Y'all, I knew that they wasn't gonna drug test me or whatever. And alcohol don't stay in your system, but 24 to 36 hours, something like that. It's not like drugs, like weed or anything. So I was cool on, having me a couple drinks or whatever. And I didn't get too messed up where I had to go back in the center and I'm slugged, or like, my breath smelling like liquor and stuff like that. I didn't get that messed up. But I did tell y'all, usually I delete everything out my phone, like everything. I don't keep nothing in my phone, but I think the liquor won, y'all. So before I went to bed, I did put my phone in the locker. When I tell y'all, the next morning, the whole facility, it was the day after Christmas, they like, phone check, phone check, phone check. I'm not thinking nothing of it like, oh, I need to, hurry up and grab my phone, because at this point, it was in my locker where it was supposed to be at. Not only was it just in my locker, I didn't delete my messages, y'all. So I got messages in there from my cousin saying she was so happy to see me. She pulled up on me, blah, blah, blah. Then I got messages in there from the fucking nigga, like saying, like, that was what's up. Like, I had a good time with you last night. Your ass wasn't used to drinking. You ain't had a drinking so long. Your ass was finna get fucked up, blah, blah. When we gonna be able to drink again? Oh my God. Why did I delete these messages, y'all? Why didn't I delete these messages? So they did the phone check. The messages were still there. So I'm just like, oh shit. Like, once they had done called me to the bubble, basically, they had done called me. They let everybody go back to their rooms. They released phones, and I'm just like, damn, I ain't get my phone back. Child, they done called me up there, and they basically like questioning me about the messages. Like, so you been drinking? Why is there messages in there saying they enjoyed you? Why are you having people pull up to your job to meet you, family or not? Why is people coming up to your job? So I'm like, oh shit, I'm busted. Like, what am I finna do? I lied to the bus stop. I don't know what that was about. My cousin did come up there or whatever because she was in town, but she just stopped to the wing stop. I couldn't stop her from pulling up. You know what I'm saying? She came up there and got something to eat. Now, how the fuck I'm finna get out of this shit with the dude about the liquor? So I just said, I don't know what he's talking about, basically. Like, he lying. I ain't never had no liquor. I ain't drink. So they kept saying, if we give you an alcohol test right now, you gonna pass it. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm a pass. Like, I was for sure like, I'm a pass. Child, the lady just kept saying, I don't believe you. You're lying. You're lying. You finna get sent back. Tell me the truth. So I'm still lying or whatever. But then once I kind of like figured that she was gonna send me back anyways, I wasn't finna tell on myself. I wasn't finna tell the truth. So I just stayed lying, and I was just like, listen, ma'am, I did not have anything to drink. I don't know what that text message was about, but I didn't have anything to drink. And they didn't even fucking not drug test me. They didn't even alcohol test me. I was so mad because I just wanted them to alcohol test me because I knew like the shit was out of my system by then. I didn't even have that much, so I knew it wasn't gonna come up. Child, the lady done called DOC. She like, first she act like she was gonna give me a chance. She told me to go back in my room or whatever. I wasn't getting my phone back. So she kept my phone for 2 days or whatever, and I'm thinking I'm safe, y'all. Child, after them 2 days, she had done told me, hey, call me to the office. I hate this for you. I'm so disappointed. I thought you was gonna make it. I'm gonna have to call DOC, and you gonna have to pack your stuff, and you finna have to go back to prison. Y'all, I literally was begging this lady. I'm crying like, please don't do this. I'm too close to the finish line. Like, it's December. I get out in February. Baby, DOC was on the way to come pick me up.
So if you're keeping up, then you know on part 18, I left y'all off with letting y'all know that I got sent back from work release. I know. Y'all disappointed. I was disappointed too. So I got sent back from work release because they took my phone. Well, they took everybody's phone. And they went through our messages and stuff. And I had a message from someone letting them know, like, well, letting me know that he was like, he had a good time and we was drinking or whatever. It was the day after Christmas. Everybody know that's against the rules. So I was sent back. DOC came to pick me up later on that night. I ended up having to go to a prison that was closer to the work release center. So I did not go back to Gaston, which they call the Cupcake camp. I didn't go back to the private prison. I end up going back to a DOC prison, which is Hernando. And they tried to make it seem like that prison was a faith-based prison. It was not. I ain't gonna say it was not. I mean, it was kind of like any other prison, like, with the chapel and you go to church and stuff like that. But they made it seem like it was strictly faith-based. It wasn't. It was actually harder than the prison that I was at. And I'm saying that because, to me, I felt like they were very racist there. Like, in that little country town that they were in, they were very, very racist. And I just felt like they didn't like black people. Not to mention, I feel like because I did fraud, and I feel like, I'm not going to say that people that do fraud shouldn't go to prison because you got to take accountability for your actions. I will say maybe they should put people in programs or something like that, because I feel like if you did fraud or something minor or white collar crime or something like that, you should be put with killers and rapists and stuff like that. We shouldn't be in the same facility. So at this particular prison, they had all types of people there that did all kinds of things. Literally, I was in a dorm with a girl that stabbed her 6-year-old. She stabbed her 6-year-old 12 times. And by the grace of God, the little girl survived, and she was able to get on the stand and talk and tell what happened to her. And the girl ended up getting like 23 years or something like that for a manslaughter or something like that. I can't really remember, but she was at Lowell. But when your time get under 15 years, so the prison that I was at, once your time is 15 years and under, you're eligible to be at a different prison. So she was there. But like I told y'all, I had my sister look up a lot of people. She lied and said that she was in there for something else, like driving while under the influence, and something happened or something. I don't know. But anyways, I ended up getting her name because I actually kind of got liked her or whatever. Like, she was cool. She was very spiritual. Like, she was into her word a lot, I would say. And people do change or whatever, but, and I'm not here to judge nobody, but it just seemed like for a crime like that, I don't know. I don't know. I know God forgives, and ain't no sin bigger than that sin, but that was just a bit much for me. So I, was not getting close to her because I didn't have much time left anyways, but I wasn't getting closer to her. But it was just like, okay, I kind of like her. Like, she was, kind of like, talking to me every day, and her bunk was by mine. So I got her name and her DC number, and I had my sister look her up. And when my sister told me what she was in there for, and she was like, oh, it was big in the, I think she was in Orlando or something like that. That case was big. I was like, oh, no. And I know I probably had no room to judge nobody, but I was like, oh, no. I don't want to talk to her. I don't have no conversations for her no more. I mean, then you had somebody in there that they allowed their boyfriend. I ain't gonna say allowed, because maybe, people be in abusive relationships all the time. So maybe she was in an abusive relationship or whatever with the guy, but her boyfriend basically killed her infant child, and she buried the child. Like, she buried the little girl in their backyard. Like, it was some crazy stuff in there. Like, I'm not making this up. And it was just like, oh my God, like, why would they put me at this kind of prison with these kind of people? I don't deserve this. So moving backwards a little bit. So once I got sent back or whatever, I did have to go to DR hearing the next day. Which, they wrote me up or whatever for quote unquote drinking or whatever. So that did take 20 days from me. So now, it actually took a little more than that, because they said I was supposed to get 20 days taken, but I didn't get my game time for 2 months. So when I got sent back, it was like December 28th. I was supposed to get out February 6th. It had on paper, it pushed my date back into like April or something like that. So of course I'm really upset. Now, y'all, I didn't tell my mama when I first left. She didn't know I was leaving or whatever, because I was too embarrassed. I was just like, I'm so tired of disappointing this lady. I know she about sick of me. Like, I don't know. I don't want to tell her. So I waited like 3 days while I was there. And when I called her, at first she didn't answer. So I called her back later on that night, and she answered, and I can hear it in her voice. Like, she was just so upset and disappointed. And she was like, yeah, Sierra. And I was just like, hey, Mom, they sent me back to prison. She was like, I know. What's up? So I'm just like, damn, like, why she talking to me like this? My mama was just so disappointed, because she just like, Sierra, all I just want you to do is do better. Get your shit together. Like, you've been down there for all this long time, and you still doing the same shit. Like, you still making the same mistakes. At this point, it's no longer mistakes. Like, you just need to get your shit together. Take accountability for your actions and get your shit together. And when I tell y'all, it stuck with me like, oh my God, like, once my mama give up on me, who I'm gonna have? Like, I gotta make a change. So I decided that I wasn't gonna call my mama. I told her, yes, ma'am, I understand, blah, blah, blah. But I decided that I was gonna give my mama a break. I didn't want to call home for a while, because I know she was upset with me, and I just want to get my shit together. Like, I needed to, get me right. So I didn't call home for about a good week and a half or whatever, until I felt like I was in a better space. So now I got to go back to work call. So now, once I'm on a call out for work call and go get my job, y'all know where they put me in. Y'all know where they put me in. And I'm saying this to say, y'all know they put me in the kitchen, right? As much as I hated the kitchen, I'm just going to say this. God do everything for a reason. First of all, I love cooking.
but it's just the way I was treated in this environment, in these prisons, to it made me hate the kitchen. But God did exactly what he was supposed to do. He kept putting me in that kitchen because that's my destiny. Like, I'm supposed to be cooking. I'm supposed to be in the kitchen. Y'all not following me. Pause on the story real quick. And I'm saying this because I'm a merchant seaman. And as a merchant seaman, I cook on the ships. Had I not went to prison, y'all, I would have never chose this type of job, this type of career. Working on a ship, I would have never chose that. When I was in prison, at my last month of prison, I decided that I wanted a great career. I'm used to making really a lot of money on the outside, which when I was doing fraud. So I was like, I want to do something that's going to make me a lot of money, and it's legit. And it's something that I love doing. And so when I was told about like the merchant seamen and stuff, and they was like, oh, people cook on the ships and stuff. And I was like, whole time, y'all, God was preparing me for this. Like, that's why he kept putting me in the kitchen. That's why I couldn't get out the kitchen. No matter how much I tried, I couldn't get out the kitchen because I'm supposed to be in the kitchen. So y'all know I'm at the new prison or whatever. And like I said, God was doing everything for a reason at that moment. I didn't understand, that God was doing it for me for those reasons. But all I knew is I keep getting stuck in the fucking kitchen, and I don't like the kitchen. I don't want to be in the kitchen. So me being like in a rush and being disobedient and not really like sitting down listening to God, what he had for me, I was trying to get out the kitchen ASAP. Like, soon as I knew that I was getting put in the kitchen, I was filling out a job change form. I was just like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not doing this again. You don't get moved immediately. So I was still in the kitchen for I want to say a good couple weeks, like maybe 3 weeks. I was in the kitchen still. Oh my God. The worst 3 weeks. Like, I was going through it. My first day in the kitchen, I get into it with the food director lady. She asked me to put the trays up, the food trays up or whatever. And I did. Once they came out of the dishwasher, we run them through the little thing or whatever, and I put them up. Child, she comes back there and she was real particular on how she liked the things in the kitchen or whatever. Mind you, this is a different prison, so everything ain't ran the same. I'm not knowing this. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I, normally do at the other kitchen. So I put them up or whatever. She comes in there and she checks behind you. That's just what she did. She checks behind everything. So, and mind y'all, they didn't steal at this kitchen. Like, this was a faith-based compound and they did not steal. And plus, it wasn't nothing really to steal out of there because this particular prison didn't have microwaves. Now, the prison I was at before, we had microwaves, so that's how we cooked our food and stuff. Ain't no microwaves at this prison. This was a real prison. So she comes and check or whatever to see if I had took the trays out, put the trays back up. I did. So she said, why are these trays so wet? I'm looking like, they just came out of the dishwasher. She literally took every tray out of the cubby hole and slung them on the floor. Me, I'm just looking at her like, who finna pick them up? Because I know you ain't just throw all those trays on the floor. So she say, now get them up and get them washed again and put them back. I looked at this lady. I'm still standing there like, who? And I'm looking at the other girl like, she talking to you? Because she ain't talking to me. I'm already mad because I got to come back in this kitchen anyways and I'm back in prison. I know she ain't talking to me. So she like, why are you still standing there? Why haven't you moved yet? Because I'm like, first of all, don't talk to me like that. I'm a human just like you are. And second of all, I'm not picking nothing off the floor that you done threw on the floor. Like, you could have asked me nicely to get the trays and dry them or whatever you wanted me to do. But you just decided to throw them on the floor? Baby girl, we ain't doing that. So she like, well, who are you talking to in that manner? Matter of fact, and so she started calling the officer or whatever, telling the officer I disrespected her or whatever. So here we go, the officer telling me to turn around and cuff up. So I'm like, cuff up for what? They like, oh, you're being disrespectful, you're talking back. And they was just like, they did the most at this prison. So I'm just like, I'm literally like, what did I do? Like, this lady just threw these trays at me on the floor and y'all telling me to cuff up? I can't really remember what they called the people or whatever that you have to go see and talk to in the offices and stuff. Not the warden or nothing like that, but the lieutenant and stuff like that. So basically they like, oh, tell that to the lieutenant. Like, you're getting cuffed up. Go tell that to the lieutenant. So I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm crying, y'all, because I'm just like, I'm finna go to law because this lady done threw these trays at me and want me to pick them up, and I'm finna go to law because I wouldn't pick them up. But this is the price that I had to pay because ain't no way that, oh, my lashes look bad, y'all. Don't talk about my lashes. I'm getting a fill in Tuesday. Oh, but anyways, this is the price that I had to pay because I shouldn't have went back to prison. I should have not done the things that I was doing at work release to get sent back to prison. So I go in there and I tell the lieutenant, like, hey, this is what happened or whatever. They said that they had to get witness statements and they had to get I think it was a camera in there, so they had to get the footage from the camera and stuff like that because the lady wrote me up on the DR, the food lady wrote me up on the DR and basically was lying, saying I was yelling at her, I disrespected her. She told me to do something and I didn't do it. Yeah, you did tell me to pick up them trays and I wasn't picking up the trays, but she never mentioned that she threw the trays down on the floor. Y'all, when I tell y'all I knew God was on my side because I'm like, God can't put me, like, I didn't, you know what I'm saying, do the things that this lady was saying that I did on this DR. You know that didn't happen, God, please. So the lady was, the lieutenant said, she had kept me in there for about 4 hours. She was like, until they finished the investigation, she wasn't going to put me in lock, but she was going to put me in lock if they found out that I was lying. So I'm just like, Lord, please, like, you got to be on my side because you know the truth. Like, I didn't disrespect this lady. Y'all, 4 hours had done passed. They came back. They took the cuffs off me and she said, we reviewed the cameras. We're not going to lock you up or whatever. We're going to dismiss the DR, throw it out. And when I tell y'all, that's when I knew God was real. I was like, oh my God, like, God is real. Like, I always been a believer and I always had big faith. Like, I've always had a great relationship with God up until, I did get sent in prison and I just kind of lost my faith. But, I gained it back, so I told y'all. But it was just like, every time I turned around, he was sending tests at me. And it was just like, he was telling me, like, you should have never got your ass in trouble. You should have never been drinking and your ass would have been still on the free world in work release doing the things that you was doing. But now you back at prison because you was drinking. And now these are the things that you have to go through. So y'all, after that, I didn't even want to go back in the kitchen. I'm just like, now I'm a target. This lady finna be trying me all the time, especially now that she wanted me to go to jail, which is, we call jail lock. She wanted me to go to jail and I didn't go to jail because you was lying. So I'm just like, I don't know what I gotta do, but I'm trying to do whatever I gotta do to get out this kitchen because I already know I'm gonna end up going to lock and I can't go to lock because I'm gonna end up losing more days. I've already lost 20 days and if I lose more days, like, my days just gonna keep getting pushed back and I'm not gonna be able to go home. Like, I just want to go home. I don't have much time left. By the grace of God, my work change form got pulled. So now I'm getting out the kitchen. I felt like I got out the kitchen just to get a worse job. Like, I got put in inside grounds. Inside grounds is where you're outside, whether it's snowing, whether it's raining, whether it's cold, whether it's hot. You're outside picking up trash, raking, walking around with a bucket. Like, it was just, Lord, y'all. When I tell y'all, this was the worst prison. Like, this prison, they treated you like shit there. Mind y'all, it was like a little old prison too. So everything in the dorms was old, rusty. The lights, in the prison, the lights never go off. You sleep with the lights on. You might as well, if you can't sleep with the lights on in your face, baby, you might as well. I used to tie my face up with a t-shirt and like sleep under my, put my blanket over my face because that you never get no good sleep. Like, the lights are always on. Just how my light on right now, this how the lights always on and stay on. That's crazy, right? But that prison was so old and moldy. Like, they should have been shut that place down. It was inhumane. And might I add, while I was in prison, one time I was in the kitchen and they had told me to go get some ground beef out the freezer. Y'all, I'm not kidding you. When I got the ground beef out the freezer, guess what it said on the label? It wasn't even ground beef. It says ground something else. But it says not for human consumption. Not for human consumption. So y'all feeding us something that says not for human consumption. Are you serious? I'm not making this up, y'all. So I left off telling y'all in part 20 when I was in the kitchen. That was just a side note. When I was in the kitchen and I saw the ground beef, or it's supposed to be ground beef. It was not ground beef. I don't know what it was, but it said not for human consumption. I took it to the food director, and I'm like, hey, it says not for human consumption. And she snatched it out my hand basically and told me to go get back on the line. Get back on the line because I was serving. So I'm just like, oh my God, like that's not right. So I wrote a grievance. And of course, like all the officers and stuff stick together. So nothing really happened with that grievance. But I just wanted y'all to know, like, that's how they treat us in there. Like, why would you be feeding somebody something that says not for human consumption? Okay. But back to back to Hernando. So I'm at Hernando now. I'm out of the kitchen. I'm on inside grounds. Like I said, inside grounds was horrible. It's like you got to be careful what you ask for, because I wanted to get out the kitchen so bad. I sacrificed getting out the kitchen to go on inside grounds and pick up trash in the rain when it was beaming hot out there, raking the yard. I mean, it was no leaves out there. It was dirt. I'm like, what am I raking? It's no leaves. They like rake the dirt. Like, that's how crazy they was, and just they didn't give a fuck. Like, they was so nasty to us. But I wasn't trying to talk back or get in any kind of more trouble, because I already hadn't gotten in trouble once there, which wasn't my fault when the lady threw the dishes down, the trays down at me and told me to pick them up and act like there wasn't no cameras there. There was cameras there that backed me up and showed that you threw those trays at me. So I wasn't trying to get in any more trouble, right? So I did what was asked from me. If they wanted me to rake the dirt, that's what I did. I eventually got into church heavy. Mind y'all, I had 3 months left. So it's January now. I'm supposed to get out in February, but my game time sheet says April actually. Now, why does my game time sheet say April when it's really supposed to say March, because I only lost 20 days? So it should say March, but it says April. So I called my cousin. I'm like kind of like sad, and she heard it in my voice, and she like, well, what's wrong, cousin? I'm like, girl, I don't know really what's going on with my game time. It's saying that I get out in April. I'm supposed to get out in March. I only lost 20 days. And she was like, what? So what they saying? I'm like, they're not saying nothing. They ain't trying to fix it or nothing. I know it's a mistake. It has to be a mistake. So I'm telling the people, like the officers, I need to go speak to my counselor or whatever and let her know, like, something's going on, it's wrong. Basically, they never approved it. Like, they basically was just like, what's on the paper is what's on the paper. So, y'all, the girl that I told y'all that stabbed her daughter, right, she was a bump away from me. So she seen it in my eyes. She seen that I was sad. She came over there trying to tell me. She was like, you trust God? First of all, I was like looking at her crazy, because at this point I know what you in there for, and I don't really want to talk to you. So, but I couldn't judge her, so that wasn't my place to judge her. So I was like, yes, I believe in God. And she was like, well, trust God. Don't worry about it. Like, they probably made a mistake. I was like, well, if they made a mistake, they should fix it. She like, trust God. So your game time is serious, and when you know what day you supposed to be released on, that's what you look forward to. You don't give a damn about her talking about no trust God and all this and that. But I had to trust God. Like, I knew it was a mistake. The next day I called my cousin, and she's like, cousin, you said your date say April. It says March on here. And I'm like, no, it don't. I'm looking at the paper. She like, girl, your date says March 6th. I'm like, huh? I went to bed trusting God and prayed about it. And when I woke up and I called back later on that next day, that night, she said my date changed. How does my date change overnight, y'all? How? I'm telling y'all. That's when my faith was already there. But it was just like, God keeps showing me that he going to show up for me every time. As long as I have faith and I trust in him, he going to do it every time. And he did. So that right there made me a real firm believer. Like, I was already a believer. If I wasn't a believer before, to see what God had did overnight for me, it was just like insane. Like, I don't even know how to describe it no more, y'all. It was just crazy. So moving forward, I ended up starting going to church real heavy. Like, every time them chapel doors open, I wanted to be there. Like, I could not get enough of God and just like praising him, because I slowly started seeing myself change. Like, I was not the same person no more. So one day I'm on the phone with my mom, and I'm telling her I don't really feel that good or whatever. My throat hurt, and I thought I just had a common cold. Well, actually I did. Child, at Hernando, they listen to your calls hard. They didn't play over there. They don't play about the phones, right? They listen to my phone calls so hard. They hear me telling my mama I don't feel good. Why do people think I got COVID and they come lock me up? So they're like, Miss Washington, we got to take you to log. So I'm like, log? What did I do? We'll explain it later. Here you go again. I'm just like, damn, like, I cannot stay out of trouble. And now I know for sure I ain't did nothing. I'm really, like, mad. I'm mad and I'm confused. And now here I am questioning God because I'm just like, damn, like, I ain't did nothing. And might I add, when you go to lock, that is so traumatizing to be locked up in a small little box, like, for 23. And then at this particular prison, you didn't even come out for 1 hour. You stayed in there every day, all day. So when I got down there, they tell me, we heard your phone call. We have to test you for COVID. And meanwhile, until your test results come back, you have to stay in log, isolated. Now, they didn't have the rapid test that they got now. They like, oh, we got to quarantine you for 14 days. What? So you mean to tell me I'm finna be in lock 14 days? I can't come out. I can't do nothing. This is crazy. So they take me to lock. They test me. And they said I had to wait 14 days for my test to come back. During these 14 days, I decided to fast. I decided to fast and pray and just talk to God. Get real close to God because I couldn't understand why the things kept happening to me. Like, and I'm just like, God, you got to have an answer for this because this is torture and I don't deserve this. Let me do my time. I tried to do the time because I never wanted the time to do me, right? I kid y'all not. During those 14 days, as I was talking to God, and I would ask him every day, like, God, what is it? What do you need from me? What did what you want me to do? I think it was like on the 11th day, God said, I heard him clearly. I just want you to be a changed woman. I don't want you to be your past. Your past will not define you. Many doors are going to open for you when you get out of here, but you have to do the right thing and trust in me. I heard it so clear, y'all. Like, oh my God, I'm getting emotional now because I heard him so clearly. So once I was released after the 14th day, y'all, I didn't get in any trouble, like any trouble that tried to come towards me, anything that an officer said to me, because there was officers that would fuck with me, like to still just say stuff to me because they would see like, when I go to canteen, I'm spending all this money at canteen. They know that I got sent back from work release. So anybody that gets sent back from work release, they want to fuck with you anyways. Like they feel like, oh, you got sent back from work release, you deserve to be back in prison, blah, blah, blah. So anything that tried to attack me, I was so covered because anything tried to attack me and come my way, it was brushed off. Like God just like had me covered. One day, so I went back to work and on the inside grounds, and it was raining out there, y'all. They gave us a raincoat or whatever, but it was still raining, and they still wanted us out there picking up trash and doing stuff. Even when it wasn't trash out there, they wanted us to do something. So the officer, like, he was letting everybody go back in. Like, he was picking one by one, like, hey, go back to the dorm. You can go back in the dorm. You can go back in the dorm. I'm literally the last person out there in the rain. And I'm just smiling. I don't got no care in the world because, like, I'm finna get ready to go home. I don't care what y'all say. The officer like, Miss Washington, what you over there smiling for? So I'm just like, no reason. He like, oh, you think something funny? Do I got something on my face? Just fucking with me. So I'm like, no, sir, I'm just happy. He was like, you happy to be in prison? You happy to be back from work release? I'm just like, I just have peace. And he just like, oh, you do? Oh, okay, I'm going to show you peace. Like I'm going to leave you out here. Like, I'm going to show you peace. It still did not bother me. Like, whatever. Okay, sir. So I was like, yes, sir. And I overheard him talking to another officer, like, why she so happy? He could not figure out why I was so happy. But I just had the, like, God, grace and mercy was all over me. And nothing nobody said or did to me could break me at this point. So like I was saying, nothing could break me. Like anything the devil had tried to send my way to destroy me or to knock me off my pivot and knock me off focus from what God had planned for me, it didn't work. Y'all, tell me, I get on JPay. Now this whole time I'm in prison, I don't talk to the boyfriend, the first boyfriend. Never had communications with him. I did call him a couple times when I first got to prison, but like through somebody on three-way. He never put money on his phone. He never even added me on JPay. Like, that's the least you could have did. He never did none of that, right? I got, at this point, 2 months left now. Why you add me on JPay? What is there to talk about? So he writes me on JPay and say, hey, I was just letting you know I miss you. What happened in work release? It's been a lot going on with me. I know I haven't been there for you like I should have been, but I know you're getting ready to come home. Do you need anything? Mind you, he had already reached out to my mama and asked my mama when I got out or, you know, when I was coming home. My mama had already told me, and I told my mama ignore him, like, don't respond back, because at this point, I done did 3+ years, and you hadn't reached out to me not one time. You hadn't put money on your phone. You hadn't sent me $1, a quarter. And now you wondering how I was doing, and I'm finna get out in 2 months? Boy, fuck you. So I never responded to the message. I felt like, here go the devil trying some shit. He trying to stir it up, but nope, I ain't finna respond. So about a week later, he like, hello, did you get my message? And then I'm just like, why does he keep writing me like ain't shit to talk about? And I know I'm kind of going back a little bit, pause real quick, because it made me so mad to know that I reached out to him several times, y'all. So many times. And mind y'all, he did like 3 years in prison. I was up and down that road like every weekend, money on my phone, sending him money, just everything. Me and his mama was really, really close as well. I mean, me and his mama was closer than him and his mama. So when all this happened and stuff, I even wrote her a physical letter. And she got my letter and didn't even respond to me. So, fuck you too at this point. It's like they knew that I was going to get ready to come home and they tried to reach out to me. So I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? So he ended up, writing back again saying, hello, did you get my message? I'm trying to make sure you're straight. Do you need anything before you come home? Or do you need anything when you come home? I never responded still because I felt like at this point it's too late. And you just trying to clout chase at this point because I had already found out that he was telling people on the outside, like people that was asking about me. I think a lot of people didn't know that we had, broke up or whatever. I don't know. But they was asking him about me and he was telling them like, oh, she's straight enough. She good. I make sure she's straight. What? You literally was telling people you was sending me money, that you was talking to me, that I was good enough. I was good. Trust me, my boy, I was good. But not by you. You didn't make sure I was good. That blew my mind, y'all, when I found that out. That was crazy. So after the third attempt, he never wrote back. It was just like, okay, he got the point. Like, fuck you, I ain't fucking with you or whatever. So I moved on or whatever. Now, mind you, my friend was in there as well. She came from work release, but she also was at Gaston with me. But we were on we was in the same kind of dorm, but she was on one side and I was on the other side. She's from Jacksonville as well. Do y'all know? I thought he had gave up or whatever. Do y'all know he not reached directly out to her, but he reached out to somebody that knew her, and that person wrote her on JPay and told me such and such is looking for Sierra. Tell Sierra to write him back. Y'all, he was trying so hard. And I still didn't understand, why are you trying so hard to get my attention now that I'm finna get ready to come home? Mind y'all, she telling me this through the window. And we used to sign like sign language a lot in there. So like A, B, C, D, E. Like, but we used to go real fast saying it. I don't even remember how to sign like that no more. G-H-I-K-L-M. Anyways, but we would sign language through the window, and she was reading. I was like, slow down, slow down, slow down. And so she was going real slow, and I was reading. I was like, I know you fucking lying. So I was like, meet me at Red. She meet me at Red, and she like, girl, he trying to get in touch with you. You don't want to talk to him? He said he got some money. He trying to put some money on my books. Are you serious, babe? I got 2 months. I don't want nothing he got. Nothing he has to offer me. Like, I can't do nothing with it. I'm good. Moving along. So, they end up trying to bring more, like how Gaston had service dogs. They tried to bring service dogs to Hernando. And the dorm that I was in, they wanted to make it the service dog dorm. Not only was it a service dog, they want to bring cats. Cats? I don't do cats at all. I love dogs, but cats, ain't no way I'm staying in any dorm. I don't care if they're in a cage, nothing. I'm not staying in no dorm with no cats. I'd rather be locked up, seriously. So once I found out or whatever that they were bringing cats and stuff to the dorm, I was like, I want to sign out to get out of this dorm. Like, I can't stay in this dorm. I'm allergic to cats. I lied. I'm not allergic to cats. I just don't like cats. So I put on the thing that I was allergic to cats or whatever. Why did I do that? I don't know why I was a target, but it seemed like I was a target. So I did the paperwork saying I was allergic or whatever. Do you know they still tried to make me stay in the dorm? Like, oh, you don't have any your medical records doesn't show anything that you're allergic to any cats or whatever. You're gonna have to stay in this dorm. Y'all, I showed out so bad. That's when I kind of lost. I ain't gonna say lost, failed the test, because like I said, I knew that God had been testing me, but I kind of failed the test because I showed out so bad, y'all. Because I honestly really hate cats. Like, I'm afraid of them. I don't like them at all. So I showed out. I started cursing the man out. I was like, because before I started, let me say, pause. Before I cursed him out, I was telling him like, okay, well, I need to go speak to a lieutenant or somebody because I can't be in here with cats. And he was like, when you see a lieutenant around the compound, then you can talk to the lieutenant then. So cool. I ain't gotta go right now. I'll wait till it's rec time, lunchtime, something like that. When I get out these doors, I'm going to the lieutenant office and I'm gonna let them know like I can't be in this dorm. I don't know what this man had done told the lieutenant, but obviously he done lied and told the lieutenant that I was trying to get out of this dorm and go over there to the dorm with my girlfriend. He didn't say friend. He said my girlfriend was over there. Basically, I was dating a girl that was across the way and I wanted to switch dorms. That blew the fuck out of me, because anybody know me, like, girlfriend, I am not gay. I ain't never been gay, never want to try nothing. Like, why would you lie on me, sir? Like, you lied. So when she said that that's what he told her or whatever I was like, ma'am, I've never been gay in my life. I've never had a girlfriend. That's my friend in that dorm, but I don't even care. Y'all ain't got to put me in that dorm. Y'all can put me in another dorm. She had already had it made up in her mind, the lieutenant, that I want to get over there with my girlfriend. So she told me no, that they wasn't moving me, that I was going to have to stand up with the dorm. I mean, with the cat. Baby, when I tell y'all I showed out so bad, they had to put me in lock because I showed out so bad. This is almost like, I'm going to call this a shorty, because this is a short clip. It's not going to be long at all. So, like I said, I showed out on the lieutenant and the officer that lied on me, talking about that was my girlfriend. I cursed them out so bad till they had to cuff me up and take me to law. I was just so mad and emotional because I was just like, deep down inside, I know I'm not gay. And at the same time, y'all trying to keep me in this dorm with a fucking cat. And I'm telling y'all I'm allergic to cats. I'm telling y'all this. And y'all basically fucking with me. So it was like, since y'all fucking with me, I'm finna give y'all something to, lock me up for. I cursed them out. I was calling them all kinds of stuff. I can't even remember everything I said, y'all, but I cursed them out so bad. So guess how many nights I did in there in law? 2 nights. The warden ended up coming to the lock or whatever and basically did his rounds and was walking around. He asked me, what did I do? Why was I in there? I told him the whole story. He investigated, looked into it, and guess what? They let me out. Nobody but God, y'all, because I wasn't supposed to get out the way I cursed them people out. It was God. God sent that warden down there to talk to me. Not only that, they tried to put me back in the same dorm, but guess how God blocked it? There was no more empty beds in the dorm. There was nowhere to put me in that dorm. They tried to be nasty and still, when I got out, put me in that same dorm where the cats was at, where I showed out and told them that I was allergic to cats. And God said, nope, gotta be quicker than that. It was no more beds available. So they had no choice but to put me in another dorm. They did not put me in the dorm where my friend was at, quote unquote, my girlfriend, which it wasn't my girlfriend, but they did, switch my dorm because they didn't have a choice. Whole time, y'all, I'm still just trying to figure out, like, I know I showed my ass. I know I cursed them people out. How am I getting out of lock so fast? Like, I know what I told the warden, and I know they investigated and looked into it, but really, God was showing out for me, y'all. God said, I see you changing, Sierra. I see you doing the right thing, and that's all I want from you. And this, I'm saying all this to say is, my whole prison sentence, I did the wrong thing. I was selling cigarettes, talking to officers, just doing what the fuck Sierra wanted to do. Went to work release, did the wrong thing. Went to work release and had drinks and just whatever Sierra wanted to do, I was doing it because I wanted to do the time and not let the time do me. Little did I know, God was trying to get my attention the whole time. God was trying to get my attention before I went to prison. I ignored God the whole time. Never listened to him. He said, you know what? I'm going to sit you down. And you ain't going to have no choice but to give me your attention. And so that's what he did. And it wasn't until it was almost at the last bit of my sentence till he really started to grab hold of me, shake me up and show me, I got you. But you have to be faithful. You have to be obedient, and you have to change. At this moment, y'all, I was determined that I was not going back home the same person I came in prison as. I was not that girl no more. That girl that came into prison in 2018, she's long gone. She died. We had a funeral for her. We buried her ass because I'm a whole new woman. But I'm going to finish telling y'all the rest because it is finna get ready to end. I probably got like 3 or 4 more episodes. But I'm going to finish telling y'all the rest tomorrow and up until my release date. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. If you are going through anything and you don't trust God, I'm telling you right now, put your trust in God. Have faith. God is an unwavering God. You can do all things through Jesus Christ. Like, I'm telling y'all, this ain't something I'm thinking. This is something I know. Trust God, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it feel like, no matter your flesh, how your flesh feel. Because sometimes we get weak. I get weak. I be like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna happen. But I always, like right now today, I always think about the things that God had took me through and put me through while I was in prison, and what he showed up for me, when he showed up for me when I was down and I didn't think that things were going to happen. So just trust God, y'all. So as y'all know, I had got out a lot within those 2 days by the grace of God. I don't know, what took over. It was just, like I said, by the grace of God, I got out. I went to a different dorm. I did see the officer that I cursed out. I seen him around. He didn't say anything to me. He would look at me, like he wanted to say something, but he never did say anything to me. Neither did the lieutenant. So I was good, nobody, was messing with me. At this point, I got 2 months left. I'm literally counting down, like, not even a full 2 months. I'm getting ready to go home. So I'm trying to stay clear of any kind of trouble. God, I don't want no more tests, Lord. But if it is a test that's coming my way, Lord, please let me pass it. At this point, I'm excited. Like, I'm getting ready to go home. I be calling home every day, trying to make plans or whatever. My friend, she was like, she wanted to throw me a party, a welcome home party. So I was trying to prepare for that. It was a little drama in the midst of that because my best friend and one of my close cousins don't get along. They didn't like each other. And they had me stressed out my last month there. Like, I was really, really stressed out because my best friend was throwing me the party, and she didn't want my cousin to come. The party is for me. However, I can't say, hey, I want such and such to be there if she's throwing it and it's at her, house or whatever. So it was a lot of drama with that. So I was stressed out, but I tried not to let that bother me because I was still focused on, coming home, but it did bother me. Because I felt like everybody that was there for me or everybody that loved me, like, really showed up for me, I wanted them to be a part of the party. And it didn't happen like that. But we'll talk about that later. So anyways, I get on JPay later on that day. And y'all, guess who added me back on JPay? I deleted him, but he added me back. The black sugar daddy. Not the white one that was sending all the money. The black one who said he wanted to get married, wanted me to meet his son, blah, blah, blah. Child, you asked me and you basically, you want to come pick me up from prison. You want to start over. You got a promotion on your job. You was wondering, like, if it's just about the money, you can give me more money, but you just really want to be with me. At this point, it's giving delusional. It's giving stalker. It's giving, I don't know about this because, sir, I deleted you. Why would you add me back? And you really, want me to meet your son? You talking about marriage, and you think I'm finna let you come pick me up from prison? Please stop playing with me. I ain't gonna lie, though. So, I wasn't all the way there yet, like, in my spiritual walk. I was getting there, but, hey, when he said he got a new promotion, I'm like, okay. So, basically, you saying you can send me some more money if the money is an issue. Money was definitely an issue because that's what this thing was supposed to be about, right? So, what can you do for me? Like, okay, I'm gonna get ready to come home. I'm gonna need this, I'm gonna need that, I'm gonna need, blah, blah, blah. What can you do for me? And I'm so glad that I'm not like that no more. I'm so glad that I'm not money hungry or greedy or anything like that as far as money and financial stability goes, because that shit can just get you just in a world full of trouble. Like, example, me, like, it was like I was so focused on money, and it got me where I landed at. But So he ended up saying like, oh, basically for him to do all these things for me or to give me the money, he basically wanted to see me in person first. He wanted to come pick me up from prison. No, sir, that's a no-go. I'm not going for that. Like, you can't come pick me up. I said, oh, my mama and my family is already excited to come pick me up. Like, I've already got plans for my family to come pick me up. So he like, well, can I at least come down there to meet you, you know, when you first get out? I understand you don't got to ride back with me. Sir, you finna come all the way from Texas just to say, oh, I want to see her face when she come out the gate? Nah, it was really giving creepy, y'all. So I was just like, oh my God. Like, I don't know. I just wouldn't recommend it for nobody as far as like the sugar daddies go, because that shit do be creepy sometimes. Luckily, the white man wasn't on the type of time he was on though. Because like I said, he came to see me at work release and we went shopping and out to eat and stuff. So, but as the time continues, I'm down to 1 month now. I go to church heavily now, like I'm always there. And so it was one particular day I went to chapel and we had a visitor there and she prayed for me. Y'all, she prayed for me and it was so crazy. After she was done praying for me, she was like a prophetess and she was just telling me like, God said, job well done. He's proud of you. And that your purpose in life is much bigger than what you think it is. So I'm just like, well, what does that mean? Like, can you elaborate? She was like, I can't. She was like, that's just what God told me to tell you. I don't know. So I'm just like, that's weird. Like, so I'm praying now, like, well, God, what's my purpose? I need to know my purpose in life. Like, what do you have me on earth for? That stuck with me for a long time. Shit, even now I still sometimes struggle and ask God what my purpose is, but I'm slowly finding out what my purpose is. And once I got on here and started telling my story, it's kind of like coming together. Like the pieces to the puzzle is like, it's fitting now, if y'all following me. But anyway, so I just want to say that part real quick. But back to the sugar daddy real quick, the black sugar daddy. Do y'all know this man was so upset that I really told him like I had to stop messing with him? He literally called up to the prison and tried to get me in trouble. Like, it was like I can't win for losing. Like, it was always something. Mind y'all, he never sent me money at this particular prison. He sent me money when I was at the Cupcake camp. Now, why would you call this particular prison? You told the people that my account was fraudulent, like the commissary account, that I was forcing him to put money in my account, that I threatened him, like, and it was fraudulent transactions, basically. That was the craziest shit I've ever heard. So basically, they had locked my commissary account. So now I can't go to the store and shop. Now I'm pissed. Because, I mean, I do have 1 month left, but still, like, within this 1 month, I need my commissary. I ain't eating out the kitchen. So now my books are locked, and they do usually lock your account 2 weeks before you go home, but not this soon. So basically, they told me that my account was under investigation. It was under investigation until they, figured out, where the funds was coming from and all that. But you never sent funds at this particular prison. So why would you call these people and lie like that? Y'all, I was 38 high. I wanted to, like, literally, now I want you to come see me. I wanted you to come see me, and y'all forgive me. Please don't judge me. But I wanted him to come see me so I can see him in his face and spit right in his motherfucking face. I was so hot. But as they were looking at the transactions, they figured out, like, okay, well, they didn't see nothing coming from his name. And they opened my account back up because basically you lied. You can't say that the charges was fraudulent. They can't do anything that was done at another prison, first of all. Let's get that straight. But second of all, I was telling them, I said, if I'm being honest, ma'am, he was a sugar daddy that I met online. He did send me a couple dollars at the other prison, but it was nothing like that. And he offered, y'all can go through my JPay messages and read the messages where he offered to send me this money. So they did their investigation, looking through the messages and everything, and they cleared my account back. Like, they opened my account back up. That was crazy. But I say that to say, it was every time I turned around, it was always something. It was like the devil tried to get me in every way he could. Like, oh, I ain't get it this way. I ain't get it in law. I ain't do this. I ain't do that. Let me use this. It never worked, though. Nothing could stick. So at this point, I have a couple weeks left in prison. And when I tell you these weeks were going by so slow, like literally moving so slow. So as y'all know, the sugar daddy that wanted me so bad, he was delusional as fuck. He had my account shut down because they had to investigate. They actually opened my account back up because, again, sir, you sent money at the other prison. You never sent me money here. So they couldn't do anything. They opened my account back up. It was open for about a week and a half because the last 2 weeks that you're in prison, whatever is in your account, they cut you a check for it and they shut your account down. So it wasn't open that long. It was like open a week and a half. However, I was able to go shopping and do my thing. I had my cousin call him because I was so pissed. Like, why would you do that to me? Like, because I don't want you to come pick me up because I'm not serious. He basically was like, oh, I used him. I played with him. He gonna get me back for that. Like, he was delusional. So at this point, I'm scared because, like, what you mean you gonna get me back? Like, are you planning on something else? Like, are you really trying to come to the prison to pick me up? Like, or do something to harm me? Like, okay, let me leave this crazy ass man alone. So I was really close with one of the girls that was in there or whatever. She was from, I want to say she was from Tampa. And she was cool. The whole time I was there, we had, got close or whatever. So she was gay. And first of all, they don't play this gay shit at the faith base. Like, you might can get away with it at the Cupcake camp and all that. But at the faith base, they don't play that. Well, in prison, there's ways around everything. So I was her lookout sometimes, like when she wanted to do her little thing or whatever. But this particular day, first of all, I'm changed. Like, I'm not the same person I was when I came in there. I'm just like totally different. I'm more humble. I'm closer to God. It's just like I'm just totally different. So she couldn't respect that. Like, she asked me to be her lookout and I was just like, nah, I ain't on it. And she was just like, what? Like, getting smart. And I'm like, I'm not on it. Like, you can get somebody else. Because for one, I don't really care for the gay shit, to be honest. But if you want to do your thing, cool, I can't stop you. But if I'm telling you I ain't on it, like, find somebody else to do it. She was like, oh, since when you can't look out for me? Like, that's fucked up. Like, getting loud. And I'm just like, hey, like, I ain't trying to beef with you about, being your lookout, but I'm just ain't on it no more. Like, I'm on some different shit. Like, I ain't trying to, condone no shit like that. And just please respect my mind. Like, at the end of the day, respect me. And so she just kind of got loud and was just like, oh, fuck you then. I'm just like, oh, here we go. Here's the test. I literally did not feed into it. I was just like, okay. I walked away. I went on my bunk. I started laughing because I'm just like, she's funny. Like, how you mad? Because I don't want to be your lookout. She started getting loud, talking to somebody else. Like, oh, that bitch went to church. Now she done started going to church. So now she all holier than thou. And it's not even about me being holier than thou. It's just like, I'm just not on it. And why you can't respect it? People are trip. So eventually she ended up getting somebody else to be her lookout. Cool. I don't care. Like, I don't care what you do. I just wasn't doing it. But my whole thing is, if I was like nasty or whatever, I could have been a police. But first of all, I ain't never been a police. But if I was, when the people came or whatever, I could have been like, hey, they in such and such. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't do that. And the police did their rounds. And I didn't even say anything. I just still, like, I was cool. I was minding my business. Mind y'all, we were cool at one point. So you know that I'm finna get ready to go home. So basically now you mad and you trying to stop me from going home. Because now you going around the compound lying, like telling people I'm talking about them. I got a lot of shit to say about them. I mean, like, just starting stuff. So one girl, and she wasn't even on there. This other girl that was in another dorm came up to me and was like, such and such said you was talking about me and talking about my charges and what I'm in here for. I'm just trying to figure out, what's that about? What's that to talk about? I'm looking at her like, what? Who said I said what? She repeated it and said the girl name, who I used to be cool with. I'm just like, why would she go lie on me like that? Because now you want me to get in a fight. Now you want me to get in an argument. Now you want me to get sent to law and not go home. Like, people are so trifling and they can't stand to see you change. Luckily, the girl was not on that rah-rah stuff. She was just asking me a question. And I was like, listen, I never said anything about you, but if I did, I would have told you, like, or I would have said, you know what I'm saying? I would have said I said it, because anything I say once, I say it twice, 3, 4, 5 times. But this particular person that told you that, ask her why she told you that. Why, if I did tell her that, why she coming back to tell you that? She being messy and she trying to start something. I said at the end of the day, she's upset about another situation, and I won't even tell her business, but she upset about another situation, and so we ain't talking, and now she's trying to start stuff. And of course, everybody know I'm finna get ready to go home. So the girl was just like, okay, well, I apologize if you ain't say that, and we good, we cool. But she definitely came and told me that, and I was just like, well, why Sierra worried about what I'm in here for? I barely even know you. I know you from around, but I don't even know you like that. So I don't understand why would you be talking about my business. And I'm just like, listen, I never said anything about you or your business. I could care less what you in here for, babe. I'm finna go home. I wish everybody luck in here, and I pray that y'all go home soon. Now, mind you, the girl that I was close with, she's in the same dorm with me. So now I'm looking at her, but y'all, I feel like she wanted me to say something to her. She wanted me to run down on her, but I wouldn't do it because it's like, girl, I'm finna go home, and when I go home, you're still gonna be in here, baby. You still got like 2 years left, so whatever. She never said anything to me like about the situation. I never mentioned it to her. Like, I just moved on. Like, it is what it is. She eventually like never really even talked to me again, actually, before I left. When I did get ready to leave, maybe like the day before, she was just like, good luck out there, I hope you do good. And I just was like, thank you. I wanted to say, fuck you, bitch, like, don't wish me well. But I wasn't rude. I was very nice. I was just like, thank you. Moving along. So now I'm down to about 2 weeks, maybe a week. I don't know. But I'm finna to get out. So now I'm bugging everybody. Like, I'm calling my mama, my sister, my cousin. I'm calling everybody, hey, y'all got my outfit. I'm calling my best friend, like, hey, because my best friend do hair. I'm like, hey, did you get my hair? Like, everybody's sick of me at this point. They like, girl, like, get out already, because we are sick of you. Like, we ready for you to come home too. So every day is literally hard for me to go to sleep now. Like, I'm up pacing. I can never go to sleep. Like, for a week straight, I couldn't go to sleep because it's like, literally, this is happening. I'm almost at the finish line, y'all. I remember when I couldn't see this day, like, and now I'm actually finna get out and walk out these gates. It was just like so surreal. Usually I wasn't a rec kind of girl. Like, if they call rec to go outside or whatever, I ain't never really go outside like that. But baby, it's almost time for me to go home. I'm going outside every chance I get because I can't keep pacing back and forth in this dorm. So my friend that's from Jacksonville, that I'm still cool with, she always went to rec. So she used to come to the window like, come outside, come outside. Usually I say no. Child, I beat her outside this time. So mind y'all, she came home maybe like 2 or 3 days after me. This girl is literally sad. Like, every day we go to rest, she like counting down, friend, you got 3 days or you got 4 days, like, and she really sad. But I'm like, girl, you right behind me. Anyway, stay tuned. Well, y'all, we made it. I am down to the day that I'm finna get ready to get out. Well, I'll say the day before I'm getting ready to get out. I can't sleep. I got bad anxiety. Like, I literally keep calling home. Like, I done call home. I done call everybody I can think of. My mama, my sister, my cousin, my friend. I done called everybody. I'm making sure everything right. Like, hey, what time y'all gonna be here? I don't know what time they gonna release me. I'm praying that they release me early, but what time y'all gonna be here? Who all coming? So it was my mama, my baby sister, and 2 of my cousins that came to get me. I done took my shower. I ain't ate no dinner. I don't want nothing. I cleared my lock. I done gave everything away. It's time for the last count. So I get ready to, they come around. I say my DC number, and I say, for the last time, S62099 Washington. And everybody started clapping. Woo, yay! I literally did not get any sleep. So I probably slept for about maybe an hour and a half. I probably went to bed about 4 a.m. I woke back up at like 5:15, 5:30, and the lights was on. You know, everybody getting ready to go to breakfast. I literally stripped my bed. Ain't nothing, no sheets, all my stuff packed up right there, waiting. Like, hey, like, what time they finna call me? So when leaving prison, you have to go do like a medical exam. So they did end up calling me about 6:30 to go out for my medical exam to make sure that, you know, everything was good and up to date. Then they give me, you know, all my paperwork saying, you know, what's what. It's the whole process, and then you have to go and see another administration about your funds. Like, if you had any money that was left over in your account, they have to put it on a debit card, like a little prepaid debit card. So of course they had to cut my check and put it on my debit card. And at this point, it's about like 7:30. I'm like, hey, like, what time I'm gonna get released? They like, well, Miss Washington, calm down. You got to do all your release paperwork, and then, you know, you'll get released. So once I was finished with that, they was like, "Do you want to go eat breakfast?" Breakfast? No, I don't want to eat no breakfast, baby. I want to walk out of these gates. I don't know breakfast. So I ended up going back to the dorm. I called my mama and I was like, "Hey, mom." She was like,
Hey girl, we on the way. I was like, on the way, y'all ain't here yet. She was like, girl, is you released yet? I was like, I don't know. I might be getting released like in 5 minutes. No, I'm not, but y'all need to be in the parking lot. Wait. So she like, girl, we on the way. So I hangs up or whatever. I go sit on my bunk. People trying to come over there and talk. I'm like, I don't really got no words, like, cause I got so much bad anxiety. Like, I was on the streets for a little while when I went to work release, but I wasn't there long enough to like feel the what I'm finna feel when I walk out these gates, knowing that I'm a free woman. Like, I don't gotta ever, 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 ever experience that again. I don't never gotta see y'all again. Like, so you know what I'm saying? I was really, really, really excited, but I was excited but nervous. I literally was emotional. I was sitting on the bed, rocking back and forth, crying, like, and people coming over like, "What's wrong with you? Why are you crying?" I'm crying because I don't know how to feel right now. I'm crying because I waited so long to get to this moment, and it's really here, and I don't know how to feel, so I'm emotional. I didn't know what to do but cry. So another hour passed by. It's 9 o'clock. I'm like, why they ain't called me yet? I keep going outside. I mean, going to the window looking like, because you can kind of see the parking lot from the dorm I was in. You can kind of see the parking lot. And I didn't see their car. So I called my mom. I'm like, hey, mom. She like, girl, don't fucking call me no more. We outside. So I'm like, y'all outside? I don't see y'all. She like, girl, I'm gonna hang up my motherfucking phone. I'm outside. So I'm like, well, mom, you might as well stay on the phone. Like, let's run these minutes up because, like, you ain't gonna never ever be able to use these minutes again because I'm finna go. Like, I never see this place again. So she like, Sierra, I don't want to talk. Get off my phone. Get off my phone. So I goes up to the bubble and I asked the officer that's on duty, like, hey, they not ready for me yet. Like, what's going on? He like, well, when they ready, because now he got an attitude. He was an old lazy one too. He's like, when they ready for you, they'll call me. When they call me, I'll call you. Thank you. Have a good day. And I'm just like, oh, I want to say that. But I ain't show out because guess what? At the end of the day, y'all can't hold me forever. Y'all gotta let me go. So it was cool. I was just like, anxious, like ready to go. So about 30 minutes later, they finally called me, Washington, pack it up. When y'all hear your name and pack it up, that's the best feeling, whether you in county, whether you in prison, that's the best feeling you were ever gonna hear when you in trouble and they say, pack it up. And it wasn't no need to pack it up, baby. My stuff was at the door waiting for y'all to call me. So everybody wanted to come around when they said, "Oh, see you later." Ain't no see you later. They, hey, y'all gonna see me later. Unless y'all in Jacksonville, then something like that. But y'all gonna see me later. But everybody wanted to come around, give me a hug, and say, "Hey, baby, I'm trying to get out the door. Y'all should have got y'all hugs. Y'all should have got y'all goodbyes out already. Cause baby, I'm trying to get out this door. See you later, bye. Not see you later, but bye." So my friend that was from Jacksonville, she was very emotional. Like she cried. She was super sad. She felt like she was so alone. But the girl, you got out 2 days after me. She was literally getting out 2 days after me. I got on the sixth, she got on the eighth. Like, chill, girl, baby girl, you getting out too. So at this point, the administration, they called me. I go in there and check in. They give me some more paperwork. They give me the clothes that, my mom gave them or whatever, because you have to check in and say who you come to pick up. And my mom gave them, my clothes that she picked me up in. As soon as I got those clothes, it felt like too surreal. Like I was just like, is this really happening? Like, am I really gonna put on street clothes? Like, this is crazy. Like it was a feeling that I can't kind of like I can't describe. Like I can't even describe the feeling. I had gained so much weight to it ridiculous. The outfit that my mom brought me, I could not even fit it. Like, but it was stretch. Like it was stretch material. Like the Nikes, it was like the Nike tights and a Nike long sleeve shirt or whatever. But I made it work because I wasn't feeling that, and I don't care what I had to put on. I was out of there. The lieutenant basically was trying to talk to me and was just telling me like, going over paperwork and stuff like that. Giving me the debit card, telling me how to work it. I didn't hear anything. Like it was a blur. Like I didn't hear nothing. I was just like in a daze. Like, and she was like, "Hey, Miss Washington, you hear what I'm saying?" And she was like, "Because once you leave here, we can't activate the card. We can't tell you, anything about the card." Hey, yes, baby, I understand how to work a debit card. Trust me, if anybody know how to work a debit card, credit card, anything like that, it'll be me. I know how to I know how to work it, okay? But once I signed everything, it was final. And when the other lieutenant basically gave me a high five, I was like, "Hey, you made it out. We don't want to see you again." I was like, "Trust me, you won't." They opened up gates, y'all. They opened the gates, slid those gates open, and all I could do is I want to kiss the ground. I couldn't do nothing but cry. Like I was smiling so big, y'all. And it was like, "You a free woman. All right, Miss Washington, take care." And I literally was walking so fast out the gates, like it was gonna come back and get me. I was walking so fast. And yeah, y'all, that's it. March 6th, 2022, your girl survived prison.
I'm human. All right, y'all. So that is the end of the story. I actually fuck with this story. You know what I'm saying? Her journey was a crazy journey. Her prison journey, you know what I'm saying, was a crazy journey. Damn, she was busting checks for 10 years. Holy. I'm glad she out. I'm glad she doing better. I'm glad she better in her life. I fuck with this story. I fuck with her hustle. I don't know where she get that hustle from, but she know how to get her some money from fucking with fraud to went in jail and then start making money selling food, sugar daddies, messing with the goddamn security officer, selling cigarettes. Like, I fuck with her grind, you know what I'm saying? This was a good story. So y'all let me know in the comments below what y'all think about this story. I really like this story. It was a good story. And again, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me as always, man. Make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't done so already, and make sure y'all like the video, because this was a good story. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me. It's your boy Ray, Big Play. Peace.